And we are live and we are back.
Let's go.
I'm Cory.
I'm Jordan.
It's the Cordan FinallyFit podcast, and we are back.
Like we never left.
We are back like we never left. Episode
48.
Episode 48, like Jimmy Johnson. I do know this person. Jordan, he said he didn't know who this person was.
No idea. It shows you how much I watch NASCAR.
Nah, or just SportsCenter in general back in the day. Jimmy Johnson, number 48, NASCAR driver. It says number 49 of 100. Jimmy, I don't know, NASCAR 4, I don't know what that means. Anyway, I don't know what that. Maybe they can only have 100 numbers and zero is one of them because he's 48. That doesn't make sense. Regardless, if y'all know Jimmy Johnson, you know who Jeff Gordon is. Just think of a closer modern day Jimmy Johnson. You know, Jimmy Johnson's still old.
You know Jeff Gordon. Okay.
Yeah, you know Jeff Gordon. Right. Right. Okay. Yeah, Jeff Gordon. He's number 24, but he got beat up by Kobe, obviously.
Right.
But yeah, and over a decade, he became one of the most successful race car drivers of all time. Okay, that's not even 10 years. I told you he was great. Okay, today he got 55 wins, 224 top 10. Jesus Christ, 224 top 10 finishes. And see, in 2009, he was named Male Athlete of the Year. That's what LeBron. That's what they all win. Male Athlete of the Year.
Yeah,
by Associated Press.
Got the record out here. Got other people like.
Yeah. And he was the first. He was the first race car driver in history to take the honors. Other note is Daryl Johnston, number 48. Is that the Cowboys fullback when they won the Super Bowls?
Johnston.
Yeah, that's a Cowboys fullback who was winning when the Cowboys won the Super Bowl. Emmitt Smith and all them.
Was that the man that had the what's the
role? Not Mike Allslot.
Okay, no.
Not Mike. No, not I
know who Mike is. I thought he don't have the collar too. You didn't have the what they call it, the cowboy collar.
Bro, I'm gonna say this. You gotta take yourself to Google. You got your own computer.
I'm asking you, like I ain't got the same internet.
Yeah, I see him with it on.
Okay.
Yeah, he got it on. But
man, they mean business. That those are the full contact. Look, I mean that's what fullbacks do. But like, I mean, yeah.
Gotta have that. Let me see how many Super Bowl rings he has. See if he has all three of them. Yep, he got all three. Yeah, so this is the fullback that was blocking for Emmitt Smith. if y'all want to know who Daryl Johnson is. All right. So disclaimer. Wow. Oh, see, this is what we need. Look, what do we do first? The disclaimer?
We'll push that back. So first 2 minutes, right? For those for our first time listeners, we talk about health and
wealth
and fitness and
finances and
everything in between.
We make sure you save more and say less
and keep making better your best.
Yes. Now it's time for the disclaimer. What I like now is that I can easily see the timestamp wrong. I heard somebody say you can't cuss in the first 20 minutes, something like that. They keep lying about this crap. See, I added myself right there. I would say this S. No, but disclaimer, this is for entertainment purposes only.
Entertainment purposes only.
It's highly recommended that you do your own research and you seek a paid professional, not a scammer, but a paid professional for any fitness and finance advice. Jordan nor myself or any type of professionals. Nope. Again, entertainment purposes only. That's our disclaimer.
Don't bring that over here. Don't do it.
And then for those of you, when you see this video, okay, please like, share, and subscribe. What else they should do, Jordan? Where are we at?
Oh, we at home now. What do you mean?
No. We're platforms.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like, I thought we were gonna talk about the fact that you're there and I'm here. That's what I was going to say. Anyways, y'all can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Am I missing any?
Apple, Google, Spotify, Audible, all the major ones. YouTube at Cordan in Full Effect YouTube channel.
Let's put it this way: if you listen to your podcast, only type in Cordan in Full Effect, and we'll probably pop up. All right?
Yes, yes. Yes, please leave us the stars. Yes.
Subscribe, rate, review. Put us in the group chat. We like all that. Look, what I was getting to is the fact that we here now. You see where Cory's at? You see our we in the same spot. We want all the smoke, all of it. All right?
So yeah, for those of you who don't listen to us on YouTube, which is all of you, for those of you listening right now, for those who listen on the podcast platforms, if there's any type of anything like that, Jordan and I are officially moved to virtual. What does this mean? You will now have the opportunity once we figure out all the.
Sorry about that. It's a little delayed.
Hey, feel like this. I don't know. You know what I mean? But we are now virtual, so this means once we get all the kinks figured out with StreamYard, y'all be able to pull up on us and either yell or not yell or say whatever you have to say. The time has come. Your time has come as now.
just know, y'all get on here, get the popping off. We pop back.
By the way, if you show up on your computer, you have the option to share your screen. So when I told you I got to pull up your budget, y'all think I'm playing? I'm dead ass gonna make like put it like this. It's a wrap now. Do not come up here, do no, because I've already posted my stuff on my social media, so I'm good on that front. I ain't gotta do it. I mean, but I'm gonna make y'all share the screen. I'm being dead ass.
Share or leave. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm not joking about the sharing part. We joke about the leaving.
Nah,
we stay. We just gonna clown you because you ain't share your screen. Anyways.
I'm not gonna be too aggressive with that because I want people sharing private information. But however, I know the features here because I'm looking at it. Like it's not our business or the Cordan Full Effect Gmail Jordan's on. I'm on a different one, and I still have the ability to share my screen. So I know y'all gonna be able to share your screen when y'all come on here as a guest.
We tested it. It worked. It works. Okay.
Yeah, and also Jordan got a camera and he's all on one thing. I'm using my iPhone right now still to record. It's on a video camera yet. So right now the videos are gonna look a little wonky when you see them on YouTube and Instagram, etc. Once they get that fixed, it'll just be a side by side. So we'll fix it.
Corey just wants y'all to see him twice, y'all. That's what that is. Like he said, look at this picture right here. Look at it.
I was about to mention the picture. You get to see my profile picture. That's everywhere. Back to my branding. Shout out to Silent.
Where can they find you at, Corey? Look.
Hey, you can find Jordan and myself. You see the names. For those watching, Silent_Cory is right there. You see Jordan at Stop Stalling J. That's STOPSTALLINGJAY1.
Let's go. They know.
Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all three of those are on. And then FinallyFit.live website.
FinallyFit06. You can check us out on Instagram, on YouTube, and on Facebook. Or you can check us out at our website at FinallyFit.live. That's FinallyFit.live. I ain't gonna spell it again. Y'all just heard me spell it the first time. Okay. Since we ain't here doing plugs, get those out the way. But we good, Corey? Okay. Disclaimer. We went through our good stuff. All right.
Intro.
Yep, intro. So we gotta get into our errors, right?
Yep, error cleanup.
Okay.
They're like, dang, what episode is this? All right, hold on. Play the rock. Play the rock.
Look at it.
Play the rock.
Shut up, bitch.
Look at that.
By the way, too, I got to get a stream deck, so I don't have to tell Jordan to play it.
Right.
We're definitely going to hurt me to expedite that. That might be before the camera.
That's it. Next on the
list. I'm going to get annoyed at that. So I tell you what to do. But what's it called? Error section. So Jordan, you can go first. So yours on the error, but yours. Yeah,
so just y'all know, this is episode 48. We do our error cleanup on all even number episodes. All right.
No, odd number ones.
Odd number. What? Why? So what are we doing?
Remember, we're doing even now because we had to do the podcast file 7 twice.
Okay.
Now the odd number episodes going to be no errors.
We did a flip flop on y'all. Sorry about that. It's episode 48, and we're still doing error cleanup. All right. So for my first error, I talked. Is that right? Grammatically correct. Anyways, I spoke about Tesla doing the stock split. I think originally I had said that it was going to be in August. That was speculation. It was not confirmed, but that's what I said, and I stood on that hill. Anyways, we got an update on that. I believe as of now, there has been an official meeting for Tesla's annual meeting on August 4th, where they will discuss the official proposed stock split, which I believe is 3-1. Does that sound right, Corey? I think that's
3-1. The stock split's 3-1. And also, too, y'all, now that I got a computer, that I know that's not gonna break everything.
Hey, my stuff is old. I ain't about to hold you. It was fragile. It was holding us down, but it wasn't holding us down. Look at that.
You should be better now. But what I can do is I can instantaneously Google stuff. That's all I do. Is Jordan say I'm gonna collect information. Tesla right now is at $709.20. This is about to be lit. I'm about to have y'all with the real information right here.
Right now.
I don't gotta guess no more. $709.25. That's what Tesla's at right now. So the 3-1 stock split would occur today. That's to be at $236. So that's what it's looking like, 3-1 stock split. As Jordan saying, the voting will be in August if they're going to approve the stock split, not the date. Likely the date will come out, at the shareholder meeting. But we have to wait until at least August 1st to get a date for the stock split, and also to confirm the 3-1. They're voting on that. They could change it,
So if it's August, that would make it correct me if I'm wrong. That makes it Q3, quarter 3. So that means it probably won't happen until at least the following quarter, correct?
Yeah, it depends if you're looking at fiscal year or calendar year. But yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha. Remember, fiscal year starts in September, you know what I mean? October, yeah.
Yeah,
So
into
it's
September.
quarter 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, right. Whose idea was that?
Right. What do we have a calendar for? Anyways,
It literally makes no sense. But yeah, but to speak, are you good on that?
yes, sir. We're good to
Yeah.
go. I just want to make sure we clean that up, y'all. So y'all not out here talking about, oh, the stock split didn't happen in August. Jordan, what happened? Look, look, that's when I said I don't know. All right, that's why we cleaned it up. It's an error, but I'm good.
Oh my goodness, no, you're good. I was gonna say we didn't talk about this when we did, but Amazon stock split has officially occurred. It happened on this past Monday. As far as we're recording this on June 12th, so Monday, June 6th is when the Amazon stock split occurred. It was 20-1, and it split around $125 a share. Now again, again, that means it was at $2,500. Okay, so now Amazon was at $1.25. Beginning of this week, it is now at $109.65. Now, remember I told you guys about the stock splits, how we're doing a real life comparison. Okay.
It is happening, guys. It's happening right now. Look at that.
Okay. So again, Amazon, what should you have done? If you thought it was going to be below $2,500 / $1.25, you've been better off waiting because you could have gotten it at $1.09 instead of $1.25 / higher if it when it's trading above 2,500 pre-stock split. Exact same thing when it comes to Tesla. Okay, you could get in right now around $710, right? And so if you think it's going to do the stock split right 3-1 to be around 230, right? If you think it's going to be less than that after the stock split, then you're better off waiting because you can have a lower share price. Okay, now we don't recommend you do that because that's called time in the market. Just explain to you how it works. Okay, always remember that the best time to buy is before and after if you're doing long-term investments. Okay, you're doing short-term investment, that's on you. I don't recommend you do that right now. Okay,
DCA, right? Dollar cost average. Put
like
that money in all the time, so then you don't got to worry about it. Over time, it'll do what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk about. I was gonna say y'all don't got no money to be doing that short-term investment anyway, because we're gonna talk about the people who ain't got the finance section today. If there was and this was like the internet times was so good, y'all. We talking about the brokies in the front today. We want to get to the finance section. It's last, but we talking about the brokers in the front. Yeah, and we talking about the people who got the bag too. We talking about a little bit of money people. So there go your little teaser for that. But yeah, that's the Amazon stock split that has occurred. If the market keep crashing, Amazon gonna be on $100. And what would you like for us to say? We told y'all to buy it. We told y'all to buy it already. All right. And then for my error section, as always, we told y'all to like, share, and subscribe. We have to remember to say that more. Okay, we need to do that. Shout out to our advertisement.
Please.
Then the second error is I said the First Amendment gave you the right to vote, but it gives you the right to petition the government. That's what I was trying to say. I don't know where you get the right to vote. It might be in the actual Constitution itself. It might not be an amendment. But yeah, the First Amendment is freedom of speech, right to petition, assemble, and all this other stuff. I think Jordan's looking up now what the right to vote is, which is so weird. You talking about efficiency is about to be out the roof. Efficiency is about to be out the roof. Okay, and let's say
right to vote in the U.S. Go.
Yeah, I don't know really how to go. Where do you get because vote? You're gonna start getting voting rights. I started getting like, can a felon vote? I was like, Jesus Christ. I don't want to know if a felon can vote. I want to know when we got the right to vote. Maybe that's the question.
Yeah. I said, where's the right to vote included? That's what I Googled. So you know, right at the same time.
Like this. I think the issue is
it says 15th, 19th, and 12th. 26 specifically require the voting rights of U.S. citizens to be not abridged on the account of race, color, previous condition of servitude, sex, or age. It sounds like a spread, like they salt baited throughout the amendments. I
was going to say is there is no right to vote. What happened is they made it so that people couldn't, only people could vote was white men. So they didn't. Right, we're going to take it back. The 15th Amendment is part of civil rights when the Civil War ended, 13, 14, 15. So that's when the black men, remember, because women couldn't vote right until women's suffrage. So that's when black men could vote, that 15th Amendment. Because it doesn't say sex on there, right?
It does. And
race, color, or previous condition of servitude. Race, color, and that's all slavery. Y'all, they was good. Them words good back in the day. If they can write some stuff. I'm saying that facetiously, y'all, for y'all. But anyways.
Do that.
But
don't hang yourself out here, Corey. All right, no, we're good.
Don't hang myself. We're talking about the slave stuff. Oh my God. Hey, shout out to John Lynch, safety for the Bucks and the Broncos. If y'all want to know why I said John Lynch, you know why I said John Lynch. Because never mind.
I need to add the to the soundboard. Look at that.
Nah, but real talk, there might not be no like actual right to vote. Like it might be the 15th Amendment, which means That to show you how racist they was. They was literally like the slaves can't vote, neither can the women. Like, you know, they just they didn't put no law in place. They
just said who couldn't do it. Look at that.
Oh my goodness. All right, and then the last era cleanup is for Title IX. I said it was enacted in the 90s. That was wrong. It was enacted in 1972. Whatever. It's about to go away anyways, because y'all know how the 25%ers be out here. All right. Let me not do what I was about to do, which is close out this tab, which is the window. That would have been a mess.
Don't do it. Reconsider.
Oh my goodness. All right. We get on the error section.
Yes, sir. I think we're good to go.
You know. All right. On to the
fitness section. Let's get it. Hey. See, I was gonna switch that out, but now I kind of like it.
You was really hyped. I was playing. How hype you was when you got it.
Look at that. Because when that beat drop, you know what I mean? That bass kick in, you be like, hey.
You can have multiple intros, bro. But like this is the whole point of being in charge. Put out if you want to have 2-3 intro themes and go ahead.
Look, I am the captain now. No,
yeah, they don't ask Jay-Z to play one song. They do if you're in Paris.
Well,
I'm on it today.
Right, you are.
I was gonna say black people will if they in Paris, but I didn't want y'all to get too mad at me. But all right, you ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All right, so first fitness question. How do you say the word?
Take a shot at it, and then I look. Go ahead, go for it. Just dive in.
What is autophagy? And then what are the pros and cons of that? Jordan even saved me if I said it wrong.
Look, you're good.
What are the pros and cons of the process? And by the way, this word is spelled AUTOPHAGY. Is that how you say it?
Yeah. So autophagy.
Autophagy.
Yeah, autophagy. Nah, you did good, man. I would have been like autophagy.
Hey, like this. You know, people I talk fast or whatever. I read ahead. I said, all right, wait a minute.
Yeah, man. Nah, you did good. All right. So autophagy. So what is autophagy? So for my bluff people, for people who don't know what bluff is, bottom line up front. So you know what happens. Some of y'all don't want to get here and listen to all this greatness that we got. So I'm gonna give you the answer to the question up front. I should make you wait, because you need to hear everything we got to say, but I'm gonna give it to you today. So bottom line up front, autophagy is the cellular self-correcting process caused by extended fasting. Autophagy removes the toxic, non-functional parts of cells by breaking them down from energy due to lack of nutrients. This process is said to cleanse cancer-causing agents as well as prevent other diseases such as Alzheimer's and diabetes. It is recommended to pursue some level of autophagy at least once a month for benefits of health and wellness. So that is the bluff, right? So that's the answer. You don't got time to listen to all my explanation, which you should. That's what we got. All right. Now diving back into it. What is autophagy? I already told you. So what'd you get out of that, Corey? What is it? Give me the layman's terms version from the bluff.
Oh, autophagy?
Yeah.
It's a self-correcting process. That's what I heard for sure.
Got you. All right. At least she was listening. That's close enough. Look. So we getting our biology one today, y'all. For those who don't know, look, we are STEM majors. However,
hold on.
You see me with the but we are STEM majors. So for people who don't know, science, technology, engineering, math, we are in the technology portion of STEM. All right. Major is computer science with a focus in software development. Okay. We passed biology. That being said,
by definition, get the degree.
Yeah.
one class.
Singular.
You didn't have to take that. You could take that or chemistry.
Really?
An option. Well, hold on. You might for those Jordan didn't attend Bowie all 4 years like I did. So did you have credits transfer over for that?
I did.
Okay.
Transfer credit.
Yeah, we had the option. We could take one or the other.
But you know what's crazy? What did I take? I took something. It wasn't biology at West Virginia Wesleyan, and then they made me come over here and still take biology. Bowie was trying to get me, man. They was trying to look. I love my HBCU, but they was trying to get me, bro. They was trying to say a lot of my classes didn't count. Remember they tried to put me in trying to retake 112 and 113.
Yeah, as a comp sci major with already comp sci credits. Hey man,
like I didn't know how to code. I was like, bro, but I'm already done this.
Put me in 190. Let me show. You took 190?
Yeah, I took 190.
Yeah.
They were like, you got to get an A to get credit from 112 and 113. I was like,
I've already said this before.
I know what I'm doing. All right. I was like, I know what I'm doing. Like, this is code, right? You know what I mean? And for people who don't know how coding works, we're not gonna get into the super details of that. But if you understand the logic of how to set up, you know what I mean, your coding structure. Let me put it this way, I'm not gonna get deep into it, but if you're using the same type of language, you're right. You know what I mean? For the most part, if you know how the structure is set up, the only difference is the semantics, right? So, you know, from C++ to Java, I mean, you know, more or less you're doing the same thing, just how it's written is different, right? So they try to play me like I ain't know that. I was like, if I don't know that, I'm in the wrong major. Anyways, bringing it back around.
Nah, it's yeah. The one thing we actually should be talking about.
Right.
Over 10 years professional experience.
Right. My whole 9 to 5. Like, no,
yeah, right. Okay, yeah, but okay. So I'm not even gonna try to say that word again. But
autophagy. You got it.
Autophagy.
Yeah,
There
you go.
Autophagy.
Yep.
Okay. So what is autophagy?
So autophagy is cellular self-correction process that disposes of the old cell parts as a result of extended fasting, right? So, you know, we already talked about, I think we talked about fasting on here before for a couple of different ways. But so me personally, I do intermittent fasting, right? Intermittent fasting has several different levels. On average, most people are intermittent fast for about 12 hours within a cycle, right? So you'll do 12 hours on, and you'll take your eating period, whatever that is. Most people divide their cycle, you know, usually do it daily, right? So it'll be like 12 hours on, 12 hours off, or it'll be 13 and 11, or it can be 16 and 8, but usually cycles are broken down on a daily basis, right? For it to technically be considered intermittent fasting, you usually want to do at least 10, right? And then I think the average time is 12. All right. So that's intermittent fasting. For me personally, I try to go a minimum of 13, and then on most days it's 16. 13 is like, I didn't have a good meal to start my fast and I'm waiting for that joint to end. It's 13:01. I'm chowing down. You know what I mean? 16 is usually you can cut that off at around 8 p.m., which is ideal because you want to stop eating about 3 hours before you go to bed anyway. So cut off at 8, in bed by 11 and sleep. You wake up by lunchtime the next day, you can eat. That's 16, right? So that's the easy way to do it. You want to make sure your intermittent fasting kind of aligns with your schedule. God bless those people who are awake for their entire 16 hours for their fast. That's wild to me.
That's what I was gonna say, because you're breaking it down to me before, and I was like, when does the clock start? And yes, if y'all didn't pick it up, the clock is running while you're asleep. So if you sleep for 6 to 8 hours, you can take about half away right there. Because I was like, you're not doing it for 16,
right?
Because if you're only up for 16, that means you don't ever eat.
Exactly. I was like, you gotta go to sleep, right? Well, you should go to sleep. Right. So 8 p.m. Yeah, the clock usually runs 3 hours a week. You know what I mean? Runs while you sleep. I'm usually up at 6. So by 6 a.m., I'm already at least, 10 hours in? And then by lunchtime, you know what I mean? You get to go. That's 16. That's the easy one right there. Knock that out. So now that we've broken down what intermittent fasting is, or the ranges for that, autophagy is not intermittent fasting. Okay. So autophagy is extended fasting. And this is where we start getting into, it's got all these beneficial effects. Why don't people do it? Because most people can't do intermittent fasting. And autophagy is like the next level beyond that, right? Autophagy is like that thing people started doing research on when they were doing studying effects on mammals that were starving. And they were like, oh, this has some beneficial effects. That's how they found out about autophagy. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that, like, I feel like intermittent fasting is like a regular health practice that people do, to control their caloric deficit and to lose weight. It's something that you do on purpose, right? Autophagy was something that they found in their study while they were studying starvation, basically. Actually, from a physiological standpoint, some of the effects that take place are similar to how your body would go into or react if it was starving, right? The crazy part is there, and we'll get into the pros and cons in a second, but the pros of it, your body goes into almost like a survival mode, and in that process, it rids itself of a lot of the things that are detrimental to you. So it's crazy how, or not crazy, but it's amazing how our bodies are really structured to go into a survival mode and literally start eliminating things that can hurt you just due to the fact that it's trying to stretch out, your life source or your life energy as long as it can.
Right. Burn rate.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like Viagra. Remember, Viagra is heart. Is heart. Viagra is heart medicine. To my knowledge, I don't use Viagra. Let me be very
I was
clear.
like, wait, what? Like, wait, hold
to my
on.
to my knowledge, I say, play say less. Now, where's she at? Where Ramona at?
Where she at? Like,
Why you being weird to me?
Right? Why are you being weird to me? Nah, but to my knowledge, they didn't like fix the Viagra heart medicine. They just whatever caused the side effect. They just like it's still heart medication that doesn't work. That like that
just
like
it just gives you an erection for a long period of time. Like,
and they just made does that more. Like they found out what did the side effect, and so like it's still heart medication.
There probably is. Now that you mentioned that, that would explain why I think you can only take like so many of them. I mean, that's any medication, right? That has any type of crazy side effects. But I think you can only take so many of those, within a certain amount of hours, right?
Yeah, we don't want to. I think I love my wife. Remember with Chris Rock? I think I love my wife.
I don't remember.
Rock. You don't remember when he took the guys, his co-workers, I think, Viagra, blue pills, and then he had to get the needle to drain the blood from his penis.
I do remember what you're talking about.
I'm about to say every man remembers this.
I had to think about it. Yep.
In the barbershop, it was a hot topic because people was debating. Look, no, like are you like whatever? I think like he was going to die. Like it was like they had to do it, and it was like a needle. And you know how big the needle was. And they didn't, obviously they didn't show, but they like, they faded. They made him transparent and faded away. Like,
right.
Hey, very vulgar scene. It was like, oh dear God, it makes me never want to try it because if that's the only fix, you got me effed up. Let's be very clear.
Like we just won't be having any more. Look, I've been healed, delivered. Look, I don't need to. No, stop.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna be praying to Jesus. Like, let's be clear. If the blood, the blood of the Lamb.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness. But okay, so you were saying that it's prolonged fasting.
Yes. So extended. So
extended.
Normal. So back to our nerd references, right? It's like when they found out about Super Saiyan 2 after, they thought Super Saiyan was the floor and, they had to go through strenuous situations and, somebody had to die for Gohan to go Super Saiyan 2. Like that's autophagy, right? In the fasting world, right? It's the next level that you didn't know existed that you found out on accident, but it's actually a lot better for you.
He was actually Super Saiyan 2 ascended. When the lightning shows up, that Super Saiyan 2 ascended.
Ascended? I thought the ascended was when they were the big and slow forms. That's
that's like a broken version of Super Saiyan that Trunks did.
Yeah, I thought that was like in that call. Oh, that's not Super Saiyan 2 ascended. That's Super Saiyan ascended form.
Yeah,
right?
he thought it not. I thought Goku was just telling him like you did it wrong.
pretty much. Basically, like they were super strong, but they couldn't catch nobody.
Yeah,
like, that was the problem. Right?
Put it like this: the one Gohan had when he was fighting Cell, and you see the electricity. Not many people have. They haven't shown many people doing that. There's Super Saiyan 2, and then there's the one where the electricity's showing. Like those, they're not the same form.
I thought that was the same thing because Goku when he was
Super Saiyan, I could be lying.
Right?
I could be lying.
He gets the lightning, right? Because that's the only way I can tell, right? Is they get
when they have the lightning,
bang and the lightning, right? That's 2.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Look at that. Look,
I'm about to do.
I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna say you Google. I'm gonna talk. Look at. Oh man. Okay, so autophagy. For autophagy to take place, so when we say extended fasting, so I just gave you the ranges for intermittent fasting. So there's usually I think the average is 12. I personally do 16. I think intermittent can go all the way up to about a day. Most people don't. Let me be very clear. I have several friends that do intermittent fasting. Most people don't go past 18 to 20 hours, I think, on average. I feel like that's kind of like, and that's for the people who do it. 12 is like you're trying to figure out if you want to do it or not, and that's why I think it's the average. 16 is like, like I've been intermittent fasting for at least a year now, like consistently. Actually, probably a little bit more than that because I used it during my fitness journey, and now I've been using it to maintain said gains since then, right? So it's probably closer to two years. But that being said, intermittent fasting ranges all the way probably up to about, from 12 hours to 24 hours. Autophagy doesn't really start until a day. Like the floor is 24 hours, right? And then it actually peaks at 48 hours, but they can go on up to 4 days. So that just goes to show you what type of fasting we're talking about. We're talking about the minimum of a day. The super the peak or the beneficial effects don't really kick into a full 48 hours, and then that can last up to 48 or 4 whole days. So what's that? 24, 48, 72, 96, right? So 96 hours, right? For autophagy to really take effect at its highest level. So that being said, if we're gonna get into the pros and cons list, we can go ahead and start with the cons. One of the major cons is it's difficult to do. I don't know about you. I like to eat, and I don't know too many people that can fast for, I mean, literally maybe even a day, let alone 4 days. I think 24 hours is difficult because you start seeing adverse effects after about, I would even say, after like 16 hours, I can say I'm actually hungry. You know what I mean? Now that being said, that's relative to me and what I do, and it also depends on what you do throughout your day. Like I wake up, I'm getting it in. I work out fasted. You know what I mean? So I usually I've been lately, as of the past at least 3 weeks, I've been getting a three piece every morning, 3 miles in, Monday through Friday, so 15 miles a week at least, and I do active recovery, and then I go work out after that. So that's another 30, 45 minutes. We teach classes on Monday and Wednesdays. That's another hour in the evening, and then I'm doing active recovery on Saturday and Sunday. And I put my air quotes up because my active recovery is playing a full game of basketball. So it's like, how much recovering are you doing if you're really sprinting up and down the court? It's not lifting and, just running, but I call it my active recovery because it's a sport. I'm doing something I love to do. And to me, it's less strenuous than what I do on Monday through Friday. So that being said, I fast for 16 hours. I'm hungry at the end of 16 hours. 24 hours, I don't see too many people doing that and it not affecting their day-to-day operations at that point. You know what I mean? After like 16 to 18, I start slowing down. If I haven't consumed some protein or, some carbs or something by then, I start slowing down, might start experiencing headaches. And that's 16 to 18 hours. Let me be very clear. If you're fasting, period, you have to drink water. Please, 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 please drink water. Okay.
One of the first quotes: drink water and budget. Okay.
That's it.
The first thing we told y'all asses to do.
Look, drink water. Half of y'all not drinking. So let's be very clear. Half of y'all aren't drinking the recommended amount of water on a daily basis when you're not fasting. You know what I'm trying to say? When you fast, you need more water because you have to give your body, that extra water while it's lacking the nutrients that it's used to getting, you know what I mean, for that extended period of time. So drink water. Drink more water if you're planning on fasting, and you need to drink a whole lot of water if you're going to attempt to do autophagy. But that being said, 24 hours is where it starts. 48 hours is when the beneficial effects kick in. So when I say beneficial effects, I am referring to that's when your body officially starts to make go into almost a state of ketosis. So we kind of talked about ketosis before, right? I don't know if we did. Did we talk about the keto diet on one of these episodes? See, we got so many episodes now. I don't know what we talked about. What we have.
Well, I would say we're definitely at the point now where you have to recap. As our listeners be asking me about stuff off air, and I'll be like, I don't trust anything I used to say. Yeah, right. I'll give you an answer for it because I don't know. We're at the point now where we don't know. We did do a dieting episode, and my guess is you went over keto there. This is why we need to make sure we keep our answer question stuff updated. Right. You can just go there. But hey, that's neither here nor there right now. But so
I think we did. I don't want to, and I'm not going to circumvent what you just said. I think it was in one of the fad diets episodes.
Oh, okay.
Fad diets, and keto was on there. And so for people who aren't familiar, the keto diet is basically giving your body a whole bunch of protein and completely either going low carb or actually almost neglecting it completely of carbohydrates. And so your body uses macronutrients, proteins, fats, carbs. It burns carbs first, then goes into carbs, fats, proteins, goes into fats, and then burns protein. So by eliminating carbs altogether, your body starts burning fats for a specific period of time and then goes into protein. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, it's the other way. Carbs, proteins, fats. I said that wrong. Thank you. I was like, that didn't make sense. So by neglecting your body carbs, it then burns protein, which is the whole point of the diet. So the keto diet, you're eating, pretty much nothing but meat, consistent stream of protein. And then when it doesn't have protein, it goes into a fat burning state. So by keeping it neglected of carbs, you are basically going back and forth between a protein and fat burning state for the duration of the time without carbohydrates. So that sums up the keto diet. So in autophagy, which is extended fasting, so you're not giving your body anything. So you're basically skipping the first part of the keto diet. So just think of it if it was keto extended. So keto without the meat, you know what I'm saying? So remember, carbs, fats, proteins. I'm sorry, carbs, proteins, fats. No carbs, no proteins. Only thing left to burn is the fats. So you're basically, it's like jump starting the keto diet. You're putting your body straight into a state of ketosis because you're not giving it anything for an extended period of time. Tracking? Does that make sense? So going into autophagy and jump starting that ketosis, your body starts creating more. Is it ketone? I'm not trying to make sure I say ketones. I'm sorry. Your ketones. So your body starts that jump starts that fat burning process, and that's what starts the cellular portion that we're not going to deep dive into, because that's when we start getting to the biology terms. But that's when your body starts doing the self cleaning or self correcting process to sustain itself. So when the ketones are produced, the ketones allow the cells to then go in and start removing either parts of the cells that aren't functional or parts of the cells that have been deemed hazardous, right? So without getting super technical into it, your cells basically we all took biology. We all took the different parts of the cells. Did we all? You looked at me crazy. We all took, no? Okay. Anyways, we've all taken biology, at least in high school. We should be familiar with cell parts. I'm not going to go into the details, but there are, at some point in time, as you grow older, things happen in life. There are parts of you have cells that are flowing throughout your body that don't necessarily have fully functioning parts, or have parts that have, since died over time, right? Because as you age, cells die and then they're replaced with new cells. Autophagy finds the cells that have either been infected or injured, and then goes through a self-correcting process by identifying those cells, forcing them to break down, because again, your body has no food. So what does it start? It starts, autophagy literally translates into self-eating, for people who don't know. So that's what I'm describing at a cellular level, like literally verbatim. If you were to type that and translate, I believe it's Latin, it translates into self-eating. That's what this process is doing. So it's taking it's structured cellular death. That's what the process is.
Structured cellular death. I think it's the first time I'm better. Did you make that up?
No, that's
that term.
Yeah, structured cellular death. Your body is. Yeah, go for it. You know what I'm saying? So your body is executing a predetermined programming of a selection of how it's going to start killing off parts of your cells. And what does it do? It eats the parts that aren't alive first. So that's what's happening. So your cells are, your body starts going through. It's like, okay, we haven't eaten. It's 24 hours later. Identify those cells that have missing parts or parts that aren't functioning, and it goes through a process. Again, that's when we start getting to the biology terms, and then it, organelles and lysosomes, and we're not going to do all that, but it finds the parts that aren't functioning correctly, and then it breaks those down back into anyways, it breaks it down into the food for the cell, and the cell then consumes it, basically eliminating the parts that aren't functioning properly, or the cells that have been infected. Now, when I say cells that have been infected, we can go ahead and cross back over to the pros side. One of the pros of autophagy is disease prevention. This has been, surprisingly, when I started doing research, autophagy has been around for a minute, but there has been a study that's come out more recently, where autophagy could be a potential, I want to say cure, but a potential preventative method for a lot of chronic diseases out there. So we're talking about diabetes, we're talking about Alzheimer's, we're talking about cancer, because so for people who don't know, all those things start at a cellular level, right? Diabetes is basically means make sure I say this right, basically means your cells don't either produce too much insulin or don't produce enough. I think it depends on which type that you have. There's type 1 and type 2. I'm supposed to know this. Type 1 and type 2, Corey's going to Google and come to my aid, hopefully. But it basically, again, starts at the cellular level, right? Alzheimer starts at the cellular level, and cancer is literally a cellular, an unacceptable cellular derivative, right? So when people get cancer, it's basically your body attacking itself because it no longer identifies those cells as a benefit to the body. Whether it's, I know there are various types of cancers, but at the bottom line, that's what each type of cancer does, right? It's just in different parts of the body. So it's brain, throat, you can get cancer pretty much anywhere. But at that point, basically what's happening is the cell is no longer identified as beneficial to the body. So your body's white blood cells start attacking it, and that's how cancer happens. So because all these disease, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna come in for type 1 diabetes. It's thought to be caused by autoimmune reaction. The body attacks itself by mistake, and that stops your body from making insulin. It's approximately 5 to 10% of people.
There we go.
Then type 2 diabetes, your body doesn't use insulin well and can't keep blood sugar at normal levels. It's about 90 to 95% of people with diabetes have type 2. This is from CDC.
Yes. So type 2, correct me if I'm wrong, basically means that I think that comes from giving your body having too much insulin or eating too much fatty foods or foods that produce a lot of sugar, that your body no longer knows how to appropriately use the insulin, which is why that's the common type, right? That comes from obesity, correct?
It doesn't say where it comes from.
Gotcha. My fault. I'm trying to connect
but type 2 is your body doesn't use insulin well, so that would mean you would have too much of it. / if you're not using it well, probably still in your body. But then type 1 makes more sense that your body stops your body from making insulin. So obviously, type 1 would mean you don't have enough. Type 2 would mean you have too much in general. Yeah, type 2 would be the way it's the one that most people have. That's why they gotta watch what they eat. That makes sense. I was gonna say though, what you're saying, like essentially what you're saying is autophagy, if I said that right, is not eating right at all, right? So if it's saying that it's helpful for some of these diseases, I mean, since you stopped eating, like let's say you had to eat 10 burgers, right, or right to get cancer, some type of cancer,
right?
If you stop eating that number 9, and so is that what this is saying? Is that what the data is saying?
So it's more so think of it more of a overtime method, right? So it's not like a one and done type of thing. Like you can't eat that. So like let's say 10, for whatever reason, you could define that 10 burgers was the thing that you knew was going to give you cancer. You stopped at 9 and then did autophagy, and that's going to prevent you from getting cancer. That's not how it works. It's more so like, we constantly, so exercise, dieting, recovery, all these are these long-term methods of maintenance. Autophagy would be just another tool in the belt over time to make sure that you are preventative of these things, right? So that's why we got to the bottom line up front. I was saying I would recommend doing autophagy at least once a month, because it's not something let's be very clear. Your body needs nutrients to survive. You cannot starve yourself for 4 days, you know what I mean, in 4-day increments and then eat and then do it again. I mean, you probably could, but I think that'd be an extreme, right?
Only Jesus. That's what Jesus did.
I mean, Gandhi, you know what I'm saying? Like it'd be
Gandhi.
Like extreme levels, right? Like there are people who've done autophagy for longer than 4 days.
What did Gandhi do?
I think Gandhi went on one of his peaceful methods of protest was he went on a hunger strike, if I remember correctly, and I think that thing lasted over at least a month, if not longer than that. That sound about right?
Undertook 18 fasts. His longest fast was 21 days.
Gotcha. So 3 weeks. I mean, it's So I mean,
I'm saying it wasn't more than Jesus.
But
that's what I was trying to say.
No. Let me be very clear. Nobody did longer than Jesus. But
he got halfway. He got halfway.
Yeah. I mean, it's either way. I mean, 21 days is impressive with we're talking about no nourishment. We're talking about water. You know what I mean? Water and praying. That's you know what I mean?
You live stream it though.
Say it again.
You live stream it.
You say you didn't live stream it? Oh gosh. Oh man.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Well, like this. When the last time you actually? Well, you see me even the last time I was over. But when the last time you see me eat?
Look at that. So you told me you fasting for 21 days? Is that what's happening? Look at that.
I'm fasting since the last time you saw me eat.
Look, I just saw you eat for this podcast. Look at that. When I called
you did. Yeah, you didn't see me in a couple of weeks. But I'm just saying. But like after that though, after the baby shower, when the next time you gonna see me eat again?
Look,
that's what I thought. I haven't eaten the whole time. Let me not disrespect Gandhi. This is called a joke. This is called a joke. Go ahead and clip it up and chop it. I disrespect the Gandhi. It's a joke.
Like, oh my gosh. Look at that. Oh my Lord.
Shout out to Gandhi. Okay. I think, you know what? This is why I don't trust people, because I saw them. Here go the tangent. Did you see what B. Simone said about Martin Luther King?
Which part? Didn't she do like a
the
whole
part was saying
segment?
since he apparently allegedly had an affair, you pretty much take how is he a good husband or whatever, or something for the father. Anyways, what I'm saying is I think they came for Gandhi too. But this is why I don't care about you Negroes, anybody else out here. If y'all gonna come for Martin Luther King, I definitely know I'm not trying to supersede MLK Jr. I don't think I'm a reach. Okay.
That's so the man that led the whole civil rights movement. Look at that.
If there's ever a person outside of you, whatever religious figure you believe in, and you're black, right? The next person has to be Martin or Malcolm, depending on which side you're on. Okay, it has to be.
Not the man that got a whole day. You know what I mean? Look at that.
Hold on. We got Martin Luther King Jr. Day before Juneteenth. Never mind. All right, keep going.
Like they're
not picking it up. They're not picking it up.
Okay. What did I'm sorry. Gathering. What did I so autophagy
for the tangent? Yeah, you're talking about the pros and cons of people doing it for how many days you can do it for, and how your body needs nutrients. Like you can't just do it for forever. Because you were saying you recommend people do it once a month.
Yes. So I was saying I recommend you do it once a while. So think of autophagy as more of like a cleanse, right? So if you are, I mean, let's be very clear. You should be doing what you're supposed to throughout the month, right? But let's just say you just had a terrible month. You've been on a bunch of vacations. You went on that vacation. You know what I mean? You got your holiday food. You've been eating at the cookout. You didn't have the wedding. You didn't have the baby shower. Look, you just been eating it up, right? And you really need to make sure that you wanted a natural way to cleanse your body of just things that, you know, the cells that could have died or anything that could have entered within that time. Autophagy would be the answer for that, right? So I recommend, and I've actually done autophagy. Let me put this in. My fast was 3 days. 2 days. I'm sorry, I said 3. I had to make it look 2 days. 2 days. It was 2 days. So I did.
Shout out to Dave Chappelle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th.
Look, just like. Oh God!
I'm just saying.
Just like Cory says, you pull up your Mint. I'm gonna tell you to pull up your Zero. For people who don't know, Zero is my intermittent fasting app. All right, so I can show y'all the 48 hours. I pulled up. It was 2 days. But you, again, getting back to the pros and cons, you do con number one. You do feel a little fatigued. I could not do what I normally did while I was doing a 2-day fast, right? And like I just explained to y'all how my fitness cycle goes. I'm very active. I try to do something every day. Even on my active recovery days, I'm still doing something, whether it's a walk and yoga, basketball, swimming, something, right? You immediately after you hit about the 18-hour mark, because I'm used to 16-hour fast, you immediately start feeling, the effects of just not having the nutrients that you're used to. So what does that mean? You have to dial down your fitness level, dial down your activity level. You more so become I won't say complacent. You stationary, right? You don't do too much. Anything that's gonna take your heart rate out of zone 2. So we watched the heart rate zones episode. All right. Anything that's gonna take your heart rate zone out of zone 2, anything above that, you probably don't want to do while doing attempting to reach a state of autophagy, right? So 48 hours, but I will say I felt better after I did, because during that process I'm drinking plenty of water. My body is doing a self-cleansing process, so people don't realize while you're eating, your body is actually passing what you've eaten before, right? So for people who don't know how digestion works, on average it's about 6 hours, depending on what it is you're consuming. So the meal that you had for breakfast is probably the meal that you're passing around before dinner. Tracking? That's usually how it goes. There are variants to that depending on what kind of meat is involved, if any meat is involved, what type of vegetables, fiber level, hydration. There are a lot of other factors that go into it, but general statements, that's why me personally, I stick to chicken and fish. Red meat stays in your system, as far as meats go, proteins stays in your system the longest time. It can actually stay in your system up to 48 hours by itself. So you can eat a burger in one day and it be in your stomach on Wednesday. That is primarily one of the reasons why you shouldn't be that in the fat content. And, because again, what's the number one killer, Cory, out here? Like,
oh, we're not doing this.
Yeah, we got it. We always got to drop a splash of it in there. What is the number one killer?
The number one killer is gun violence. Let some of these Negroes tell it. No, number one killer is hard
to... or hammers, according to other... Let me stop.
33% of the people who die are due to heart disease, so over 800,000.
There we go.
The gun violence joke is because 45,000 people die from gun violence a year. We'll talk about that's what we should do on current events.
Look,
sorry, we didn't do a current events today.
Yeah, but for people who aren't tracking, I mean, look, the numbers. Y'all are dying. I don't want to say y'all are killing yourselves, but y'all are dying from.
No. They are.
I'm trying to be very careful on what I say and how I say it. You know what I mean? But
I think you got to say deleting on YouTube.
Gotcha.
Okay. So they're
Y'all-
deleting themselves.
Yeah, y'all are deleting yourselves. Chronic conditions. Chronic conditions are number one. And of those chronic conditions, heart disease. Heart disease is the number one chronic condition that's killing people. The numbers
All
are
people
high.
and black people. All people
Yes.
and black people. Black people are all part of all people. But
Yeah.
I
was like, we would so that was the all people statistic, correct? That you gave out?
out of all the deaths, I don't know what, I didn't see what it was. I mean, I still the number one killer for black people. I know that.
No, but I mean, that's the point I was going to make. Is the number is probably, like, if we start getting a percentage base, the number probably goes up when you start talking about minorities.
Yeah, like I said, we're impacted the most by negative things and the least by positive things,
which is crazy.
So
come on, y'all. Come on. We're giving you some tidbits here. So that being said, bringing it back full circle, because I'm gonna wrap it up. I know I'm going running long.
Yeah, I'm looking at the time. I'm like, has it been this long?
Look, we rolling. Look
like this. The time can't break on here. As y'all know, we have hopefully solved almost all of our technical difficulties by switching over to StreamYard. I'm looking like, dang, how long did we take on the intro?
Listen, we rolling. We rolling, man.
It's straight. I'm fine. I'm just saying,
Look, I'm gonna try to wrap it up. Real quick. So yeah, so Autophagy is one of these tools that you can use. It is you don't have to pay for it. It's not flat tummy tea. Okay, it's not something out here that you gotta, that $9.99 program that you gotta pay for. This is something that you can do by yourself in a controlled environment. You know what I mean? You have control over what you consume, right? And you can. It's a self-cleansing process. Your body. I think people take for granted how well equipped our bodies are to fix themselves, right? We take for granted, you know what I mean, that it has the ability, it has amazing capabilities if you know what it's capable of and use it effectively. Autophagy is one of those things. Sometimes you just need a good fast. You got to hit the stop button. Your stomach is saying, hey, whoa, don't put that in here. We good. Relax. Give us some water. Let's clear this out. You know what I mean? Let's repair some cells in the meantime. Hey, you had a whole virus in here you ain't know about. I'm gonna get rid of that too while we're fasting, and we're gonna get it together. All right. So running through it real quick. Pros: increased ketone levels. Increased ketone causes that cellular self-correction, and also causes weight loss, which is point number 2. Weight loss. Everybody out here, we talked about the numbers. Y'all obese, okay? We're just gonna say it. Y'all are obese. You're overweight. Most people's fitness journey. Cory laughing at me. Most people's fitness journey coincide with some type of goal of weight loss. Here you go. Boom. Just dropped it on you right there. Your body has the way it's self-correction. Well, also weight loss is a side effect of autophagy. Let's be very clear. It is not the goal, but in the process of self-correction, because it is some physiologically similar to starvation, your body is going to start losing weight, right? Because in the process, so what ketones do is they start that starts that process, of course, the cellular cell correction, but it starts breaking down fat cells and converting them to energy. So that's what's also happening. So that's why the weight loss occurs, right? So pros: increased ketone levels, weight loss, reduced appetite naturally. I mean, that's like a duh. I mean, you're fasting, right? Over time, your body becomes used to fasting. So again, bringing it back full circle, intermittent fasting. I started off with a 12-hour fast, moved on to 13-hour. You just start gradually notching it up over time, making the fast longer, just due to the fact that your body gets used to it, right? And so you kind of got to keep your body in flux if you want the same benefits of the fast. So by doing so, you just kind of gradually turn it up. Now I'm averaging, like I said, 16 to 18 hours. I did a 19-hour the other day and I actually had to remind myself to eat because I was like, bro, it's been 19. You know what I mean? You roll it after 19, it's like you might as well just do a day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like 19 is like, 19 and 24 ain't that far apart. It's 5 hours. You know what I mean? Like, and I was like, nah, bro, you got to eat because I'm trying to get some gains. Carbs, fats, protein. You don't want your in that self feeding process. If you are lean, if you're not obese and you don't have the fat, your body's the next thing up. Your body starts feeding on your muscle, right? So keep that in mind for our folks who aren't obese and started attempting autophagy. If it goes on too long, your body, again, physiologically similar to starvation, it's going to get the energy from somewhere. You don't got fat, the next thing up is the muscle. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, back to the last pro is that disease prevention. So prevention on those infected cells, that Alzheimer's, that diabetes, cancer, anything else that starts at a cellular level. Again, your body has this ability to self-cleanse. All right. Cons: fatigue, reduced energy levels. That goes without saying. Your body's getting less nutrients. You're going to feel tired. You're not going to be able to do as much. keep that in mind while attempting this process. Second con, it's difficult to do. Most people can't intermittent fast. If you can't make it to 16s, you're probably not making it to 48 plus 96. We're talking days here, right? You can start this process on Monday and not until Thursday. That's a lot, you know what I mean, for some people. So just keep that in mind. And that being said, you don't have to do the full 96 hours. Like I said, I did a 2-day fast, and I can definitely say I felt the effects post fast. I felt like my body was able, by giving my body water during that time period and not stuffing more macros into my mouth, I was able to give my body that time to, again, self-correct cellularly and push out the waste. So, because you don't stop going to the bathroom during this time. For people who don't know how your body gets rid of waste, sweat and defecation. Okay. So, number one, number two is all waste, right? It's all coming out. So your body is pushing that out. Your pee will, get clear. Stool will do what stool does. Okay. But it'll leave your body. So it'll clean itself out. And last but not least, it requires constant hydration. And we just went through this. Y'all don't drink water. You don't drink enough water. I'm telling you, you don't drink enough water. So if you don't drink the regular recommended amount, autophagy is not for you. But that wraps it up. So that's the process. Those are the pros and cons. All right, we good?
Yeah, we're good. And I'm normally on the soundboard, which you got.
Look, hold on, there we go. I think it's good. That's out of my right.
Yeah, give yourself a round of applause. Was that it though?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was gonna say all right for the Super Saiyan. All right.
I mean, getting back. Okay, all right, I'm listening. What we got?
So this is fake stuff. So how accurate is it? The electric bolt doesn't always appear. However, it's usually a sign that they have reached full power. Does ascend and full power mean the same thing? I don't know. Then the guy who created Dragon Ball Z passed away. But I think we're both either right or we're both wrong.
The only problem. Well, let's be clear. So Goku, Gohan. I'm trying to think of who else has hit Super Saiyan 2? Because Vegeta's never went Super Saiyan 2.
Vegeta didn't go Super Saiyan 2? He didn't go Super Saiyan 3.
So I thought he went Super Saiyan, then he had that ascended form, then he went Majin. Remember, he never had a 2. His on par for 3 was Majin. I didn't think he had a 2. Let me put it this way. I don't want to say he didn't do it recently, but I don't think he did it during the Cell games, did he?
This is a mega Shenron. That's not canon.
It was Majin, and then after Majin came all the extra stuff. Because I think Super is canon now. So
I don't know. It's taking too long to tell me on the internet.
Gotcha.
Well, I put it like this. We might put it in the error section.
Yeah,
this is what go ahead.
Well, no, we'll clean it up if we had to. So yeah. I'm just saying because I don't think so. I think Trunks. So because remember, Trunks got beat. They were beating Cell's second form, right? Then they got cocky. They let Cell go to third form. He trashed Trunks, remember, because he had the big slow form. And then he trashed Vegeta because Vegeta was also in the big slow form, and he tried to convert. And by then he was too weak, and Cell trashed him too in perfect form. So I don't think they ever went to, because remember, that's why Gohan was so special, because he was the only one.
That wasn't perfect Cell. Cell doesn't become perfect Cell until he's fighting Gohan. Perfect Cell is when he gets Android 16.
Hold on, pause. Perfect Cell is when he absorbs 17 and 18, and he goes into the third form. The tail goes away.
So who is he when he consumes Android 16? He didn't. He killed him.
That's what I said.
What did he? I thought he consumed somebody when he. Y'all, this is.
This part I know. So he consumed 17 and 18, went to perfect form, had the Cell games. They fought. Gohan punched him. 18 came out. Remember, because that's the only reason 18 was alive and 17 wasn't. So 18 came out because remember, 18 lives a whole life with Gohan. That's his baby mama, all that good stuff, right? 18 came out. 17 didn't. He was in his second form again. He blew himself up. Goku transported him away to King Kai's planet. He came back. When he came back stronger because he had Saiyan blood, and he came back in perfect form without having to absorb 18 again.
Yeah, I'll take the stupid. Go ahead, give me the stupid. Go ahead, give me the Kakashi.
No, we can.
I fact checked it. It is 17, 18.
Yeah, we good. Because remember, 16 tried to sacrifice himself. He blew himself up, and he failed.
Yeah, I think that was because Cell wanted to absorb him, which might be something they wrote in because he doesn't do it. So they might have just wrote that in there. It's probably why my brain's thinking that. Regardless, though, as I always say, Gohan's strongest anime fighter ever, adjusted for time period. When he went Ultimate Gohan, you know what Ultimate Gohan is? Like what it means from a power standpoint.
I don't know.
It's Super Saiyan 2, but you know, as they go higher up, they become more angry.
Right.
Essentially, he's able to get all of that power with less stress on his body and create the same mindset in base form. I'm trying to tell y'all, don't mess with the boy.
I didn't. I'll be honest. That was probably one of my least favorite transformations. Just because.
It was a whack transformation. So we want all this yellow crap. Yeah. However,
I mean, it's just like one of those things. Like they could have gave. So I just took a different color or purple or something.
He was still the strongest person. He was the strongest person until the
end. I'm not arguing with the strength. I completely agree. He was
Gohan
like
was stronger than everybody too. Gohan was still the strongest. And then after, you know, at the end of the Buu saga, then that's it.
That's why I need you to watch Super. Okay, so just
I'm talking about now. Yeah, is he back there, right?
Well, the reason I'm telling you that is they have a DB Super movie coming out this summer. Guess who the main character is?
Gohan.
Yeah, and Piccolo.
Yeah, I still watch the movies. I still watch the movies. I be there in the movies. Look, I have my friends tell me. I have my friends catch me up.
Yeah. Okay. Got you. Yeah. So I mean, he's weak in Super, but clearly they're correcting that because he got a whole hour and a half movie. You know what I mean? So it's like.
I'm just trying, One Punch Man, Naruto already. I'm trying to tell you, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Look, a Team 2. I don't care. Adjusted. Watch it. Pull up the Cell highlight tape. I showed you that too.
I figured it was only a matter of time for they fixed that because I feel like there was like a fan base that was sincerely mad at the Dragon Ball creators for years because Gohan just fell off. Like he just, you know what I mean? My man just said I'm going to do school and stop doing everything. Like that.
Outside of finance and fitness, it's probably the third topic that I've spoken about the most. I am hell bent. I don't care what nobody have y'all picked up there's a reason Super Saiyan 2 Teen Gohan is in all the video games. Not because it's he defeats, it's because he was the strongest person. Yeah. And he did y'all remember Buu? Who beat Buu? Gohan. I know he got snuck up on, but he was.
Yeah. You know what really irritates me? They're hubris, man. Because a lot of these series shouldn't have been as long as they were. Like when he was giving Buu the hands until he got cocky and they got absorbed.
It's the same thing they did in Infinity War, like how they wrote Hulk and Vision out the movie. They're not like in the movie at all. Because if they were in the movie, he wouldn't have got all the stones. Like the way they wrote the movie, like because Hulk. Well, Bruce Banner and Vision were both at Wakanda. They would have won because Vision and Hulk and Thor, the three strong. You know what I mean? Like they were getting.
Wait. What movie are we talking about?
Infinity War, not Endgame. Infinity War.
No, he got him manhandled in it. Remember he got
remember they wrote it, but he never transformed back. Remember, he never transforms back to the Hulk because of that situation.
We an hour in. We cussing that. Look,
you cussing that.
Look at that.
He did.
He whipped that man's ass. All right.
Yeah, and I forgot my brother told me it was called like it's some psychological thing when they do that, where they make somebody that's super, super powerful get defeated very quickly for whatever. It's some psychological thing. But that's go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I do small Google stuff into movie tactics, right? Like things that kind of like foreshadow what's going to happen. And so there's this thing called Chekhov's gun, right? Where basically foreshadows, there's something that's shown in the beginning that then becomes relevant like later, right? And I think that was basically like a Chekhov's gun. Like he got manhandled and I was like, oh, he's, they're basically saying like that he's done, like he's not gonna be in the rest of the movie. Right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is though, if you still have Hulk and Vision before Thor shows up at Wakanda, because Vision, by the way, if Vision was still there, then it would have looked a lot different. Because they was getting because when Thor showed up, that they was winning until Thanos showed up.
Yeah,
they was winning because Thor, Thor is crazy. Have you read up on Thor? Have you seen the where they do like Goku versus Superman, where they do all the superheroes fight each other?
Yeah,
have you seen that on YouTube? They have a Thor fought. Who did Thor fight? I forget who he fought. Anyways, this in the comic books, this man is crazy strong. Like he's nerfed in the movies. He can do anything. I know he's a Greek god, but good god.
But you know how that goes. We know how to rank. Look, we know the ranking system too. He's cosmic. I mean, those people that be cosmic are the mystic people. And like Scarlet breaks the world. Like
they about to kill Thanos. She did kill Thanos. She did beat him. They just wrote it out the movie.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, you know what I mean? If they cosmic or mystic, they're not to be played with. Period. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Sorry. I know we
you're
just went
gonna
on a whole nerd
I know.
tangent, but like,
You know, I feel like this. We on enough. You know, I'm like, oh crap, Jordan. I think we're about to lose it. But nah, yeah, the cosmic people are insanely strong. But I was watching that YouTube video and I was like, Thor did all this stuff in the comic books. I was like, he's like, not like he can't like. I think he ate like a celestial galactic. Like he did something like insanely crazy. Like it was like more than an Avenger character would do. It's like when one of the characters barely show up. Like this is he is one of the main characters. So like if he's this strong, it's like
he's in that classification of gods, right? And so it's like there's certain things where like regardless of his powers that gods can do. You know what I mean? At least from in the Marvel comic books. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like gods celestials, right? Like they're like, you know what I mean? They're like right here, you know.
It's something crazy. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I think it's a death battle. Thor versus Hulk? No, Thor versus Vegeta. Yeah, Thor versus Vegeta.
Gotcha. Yeah, I watched and I did watch one where he lost. Did you see the Thor versus Kratos?
He lost against Kratos.
Kratos.
Oh, it's the God of War.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now Ares isn't stronger than Thor though.
You said what?
Kratos is Ares. The God of War.
Kratos
is
better than Ares. Like, he kills him in the first one. Nah,
he does. I feel like this. I think. Well, it's not a spoiler.
Have you played the God of War games?
The newest one. Yeah, I played the latest one.
Have you played like the God of War? Like not the new one is like a sweet, happy ending to a already great. Like, have you played like 1, 2, and 3?
I played 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, I played 3 where you kill Zeus. Yeah,
where he kills everybody.
He doesn't kill Thor. Thor's in the latest one. Thor's still alive.
No, so that's Norse. We talking about Greek mythology. I'm talking about he kills everybody.
Okay, yeah, my bad. Yeah. He kills everybody.
He kills.
Hercules.
1 to 2, he kills all the. So he kills Ares in 1, and 2 he attempts to kill Zeus and kills half the gods of Olympus in the process, and 3 he kills the remaining gods, Zeus and
his brothers. Yeah, and his brothers. Yeah, he kills. Hades
and his grandfather, which is a Titan too. Like he kills everybody. Like that.
Yeah, he killed Hercules in that game.
Yeah, and then moves on to a new set of mythology and starts killing him too. He killed Baldur in the remake. Like you ever say, like that's a bad dude. Like
you're right. I feel like this. Ain't no knock on Kratos, but you know what I mean. Like he has. But like this, it's to beat the game. It's not the beginning of God of War.
Yeah. We're not talking about we're talking about the God of War 3 Kratos. Like when he finishes, like the whole planet is in ruin. There's nobody left to kill. I would love for them to make a game between God of War 3 and then the God of War remake on how he got to there. That would be a great game. In my
Loki. Well, his son's Loki, but anyways, if y'all spoiler if you ain't played. Well, it's not a spoiler. It's gaming out. They done made a new system.
Let's be very clear. It's now a greatest hits on the PS5. So if you have the PlayStation Plus right now, I think this month you can actually download it for free and play it. So if you haven't, it's on you.
Yeah, what's it called? That's why I placed because the Xbox comparison because God of War is Sony only. Their comparison is Halo, right? That like Halo when Halo came out and it was like no, you can only get this on Xbox. Sony was like, okay, we need to make a game too for just to make you buy just our system, and it was God of War, and God of War is significantly better because they keep trying to like make Halo like Halo, but Call of Duty showed up and now online, now they got all these different shooters. And so, because they had, remember when not Tekken, Soul Calibur came out with GameCube, they're the GameCube version, the PlayStation one, right? And that's when they're like console beef, which you can't have with Nintendo because nobody has Mario and Pikachu, and Sonic. But
that is true.
I think it's Mario, Pikachu, and then next up is like Franklin, Trevor, and Michael from Grand Theft Auto. Like Nintendo's market cap, like it's not even like they don't compete. They're so large. Shout out to the finances. But it's like if there was like from a stock standpoint, I don't know if you can invest in Nintendo, but Nintendo is no joke. I mean, they look Mario. Yeah. You can look up the worth of
years.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Like years. Like Mario went from every D there is then went from every D there is to 3D, like real life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. They releasing a new Sonic game this year. Sonic Frontiers comes out the end of this year in fall. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're still making these games. Sonic is older than us. Like,
yeah, it's one of those things.
Old when you start talking about I mean, we only got 3 decades, but whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's one of those things where like it's so large. But you have Mario is first, obviously. Then you have Grand Theft Auto 5 because they won't release a new one,
which is crazy. They're milking the heck out of GTA 5, but whatever.
Yeah, then they got Tomb Raider, which makes sense. Yeah, because she's been out forever too. But then you got Animal Crossing. Let me see. You got Metal Gear Solid, but these are all dual console ones. I can see. Where's Pikachu at? I know Pikachu's on there. Okay, guys, we're going to the finance section.
I was about to say they like on
right,
to
hit the rewind in the gun. We're apologies.
Hold on. What is that? Oh, it's not. They're not next to each other. All right, we good.
All right, on to the
finance section.
Let's go.
All right. The first and only finance. I don't know if this is it's not even a question. Look, Corby said me up. It's not a it's not a question. All right, so
I said it says finance section. And yours says fitness question.
Yeah.
Go. All right, go like this.
Look, it's a section. It's a section. Okay, so the finance section, it refers to an article, and the article is the title of the article is 1/3 of Americans making $250,000 live paycheck to paycheck based on a survey. All right, and this we got to start citing our sources. Sorry,
I was okay. If you didn't,
my fault. No, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. You good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. So this article is from Bloomberg. So like I said, our articles are getting better, right? We getting because what was that one? Was a New York Street or whatever the hell it was. They combined Wall Street. They call it New York Times and Wall Street Journal. They combined. Anyways, though, as Jordan said, people make $250K. They saying they ain't got no money. Okay. Cash is especially tight for top earners of millennial cohort. Cohort is what you're a part of. Very few reported issues covering all their household expenses. Okay, this article is by Alexandre Tanzi, if I'm saying that correctly, came out on June 1st. So it's saying more than 1/3 of Americans earning at least $250,000, y'all. That's $250,000 for single people. That's going to put you in that 32% tax bracket, and married, because y'all married, still gonna be in the 24%. Okay, annually though, they're saying that they're living paycheck to paycheck, underscoring how inflation is taking a bigger bite out of Americans' budgets at all ends of the pay spectrum. Here we go. Can I get my lies, please? Can I get my ladies, housewives of Atlanta?
There you go. I got you.
Yeah. See, it's saying underscoring how inflation is taking a bigger bite out of Americans' budgets. No, what do they have, Jordan? What do these Americans have who are struggling financially?
They don't have, or they have?
Oh, they got either.
Oh, okay. So they don't have a budget, but they have debt. There we go. Look, I'm on it. Look, hold on.
A lot of y'all don't. We have to post that. A lot of y'all don't.
Look at it. I got one. All right, go ahead.
Nah, a lot of y'all. Look, Jordan said it best. A lot of y'all don't have a budget, but you do have debt. And this is why I talk about the lies. And these are the articles. Yes, inflation is, like I said, people getting their ass kicked at the gas pump. But
yes, Lord. Hey, that bike is getting some work anyway.
Right. Electric vehicles are looking real promising right now, even though Tesla's stock in the gutter. Regardless, though,
aren't they all? Look at
that. That's not all. Yeah, they all are. That's not relative to the gas prices. However, though, yes, people, are being hit more and more as inflation's continue to increase. However, the statement that the fact inflation is increasing is causing people who make $250,000 or more to struggle more financially is not true. Let's be clear. Let's be very clear.
$250K.
Okay,
and a quarter of $1 million. I'm sorry, I'm hyping it up.
No, I was gonna say, fortunately, $250K. You don't have to adjust for cost of living. That it doesn't matter where you're at in the United States. That's good.
Yeah.
Even if you're in LA,
it's $250,000.
That's at the bottom of it, but you're still good.
Right.
You're still good, and that's just for LA. Silicon Valley, those kind of places. Some parts of New York City, not all of New York City is expensive. Bay Area, San Fran, Miami. There's not that many places that cost a lot to live, that people normally live. Obviously, the Hamptons, right? Select places. But
right.
You can still make it in Silicon Valley $250K. Just go and look at the Google and Apple and Amazon, their salaries to those places. Regardless, though, it's saying that some 36% of households taking in nearly 4 times the median U.S. salary. Okay, again, median salary is roughly $60K, right? Devote nearly all of their income to household expenses, according to a survey by industry publication PIMPS, PYM as in Michael, and as in Nathaniel, TS.com, and Lending Club Corporation. Now, this data is everyone, 1/3 of Americans making $250,000. So it's everyone who makes $250K. However, this is particularly true among millennials who are now in their, as you guys know, millennials are mid to late 20s and then early 40s. So we're slowly transitioning to the majority of the population, quote unquote, as far as the working population. So more than half of top earners in that generation report having little left at the end of the month. Okay, so it's a third for everyone, but it's close to 50% for millennials. Okay, and then we got budget stress. We have a chart here. It's saying 100K to 150K. This chart is U.S. high earners who report living paycheck to paycheck. God, I love these stats. Okay, that's why I don't even understand when people don't even do stats. 100K to 150. 100K to, look what this says. 100K to 150K. And I'm pretty sure this is gross. That's the only way you truly know this from a tax standpoint. They would have this data. 100K to 150K. 63% of millennials are living paycheck to paycheck who make 100K to 150K. That's called damn near everyone. That's pretty much just the people who listen, outside of people who don't listen to me and Dave Brand. I mean, like that's all who it is.
There's all of them. There's all of them.
It's me, Jordan, his wife. So we carrying the 37%. Okay. So 100K, 150K, 63% millennials, 50% boomers. Boomers are baby boomers. When I say boomers, that's people born in the 50s / early 60s. Okay, I think baby boomers is 50 to 63.
I'm glad Cory know all this because I know the terms. I don't know what year. You know what I mean? I just kind of know what order they go in. You know what I mean? Like,
as I always say, I don't get why people argue with me. You know, not off the top. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could probably out Google me on a test, but we have to see if we were in court, okay, and you can't renege. Okay, right. I'm like, all right, no, that's why I told you on the same team though, so you're good. All right, so 150.
He that person you want to play spades with, because if he say you reneged, you probably did it.
You probably did. Okay, and then all right, keep going though. 150K to 200K income, 56% millennials, 56.8% millennials, then 22% baby boomers, then 200K to 250K is 49.8%, so essentially half of millennials, and then 20% of baby boomers, and then 250K, income is 55.4% millennials and 21.8% baby boomers. Now, here's one thing, and this is why I don't know. I guess shout out to the fact we can do this, and we can just hop on here whenever we want. Do you notice what these stats actually show, Jordan? Which is how your finances roughly should work. As people make more money, the fact that they're living paycheck to paycheck decreases for boomers, except for the 250K to 200, that one. But for 26, 22, 20, then 21.8. For millennials, it's like it does that, but not really, because the numbers are still over half, right? You know what I mean?
It's still high, even though it's going down, but it's high.
Right. Yeah. So the real issue and boomers still have debt too, mainly student loan debt. But it's a student loan situation, and the biggest one of all, obviously, lifestyle inflation. I don't care what anyone says. Y'all need to stop spending all this money. That's all this is showing. 250K, and how many millennials make over 250K? That's a good question too, because it might be a small set. Therefore, that could make this average a little higher than what it would be as you extrapolate over more people. But 55.4%, y'all. I mean, essentially, if you make over six figures, 50% chance of living paycheck to paycheck. That's why I get to say what I get to say. I have a coin flip chance of being right that you're struggling financially. That's what the data says. This is from Bloomberg. And that's why I talk about the financial timestamps. I've been saying y'all been struggling for a year, and I don't know y'all. And then June 1st, 2022, Bloomberg says I have a 50% chance of being right. And by the way, that's on the 200K to 250K. Everybody else is more than 50%. If you make 100K to 150, it was probably most millennials. I got 60. That's if you had a 6 out of 10 chance of doing something. Because never mind. Never mind. All right. The 250,000 plus the 250,000 plus income tax bracket roughly represents the top 5% earners in the country. Okay, there we go. That's the data I was looking for. All right, so living paycheck to paycheck doesn't necessarily mean hardship, but the Lending Club doesn't make the distinction between those. The distinction between those can pay their bills early. They're missing who? Those who can pay their bills easily and who can't. Only a fraction of high earners, roughly 1 in 10, so 10%, reported issues covering all their household expenses in April, according to the survey. Now, there we go. I was going to say, I want to see the debt. I was going to see what's the debt about.
Yeah, gotta be.
Look,
250K and you can't pay your bills. Look.
Stop it. Get some help.
Like, what are we doing? Like, that's crazy to me. But I mean, it'll make more sense as Cory explains why.
Yep,
I mean,
we're good. No, look, we feel like this. We already know why. I'm just.
I mean,
we're getting data.
As we get the data, the numbers. We get the numbers.
Yeah, we went off the top for the first year and just said what we said. Now what we're gonna do is take articles that were made, in the future from our old episodes and just reinforce those. That's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing at least. Because my stuff is more static than the fitness stuff. Okay. So now it's saying housing expenses, right, which typically take up large chunks of the budgets of wealthier people, which should not be the case. How your housing expense should be mainly what percentage based, right? 25 DTI is what 36% when you get a mortgage, right? They want no more than 25%. So when you percentages, it shouldn't take up more by definition. Okay, housing spend. I'm just this is Bloomberg, by the way. I mean, this is this is Bloomberg. Okay. So they take up a larger chunk for wealthier people as far as housing expenses, and it has skyrocketed during the pandemic. How did their housing expenses go up when things got cheaper in the pandemic? Remember, we're post-pandemic essentially, so inflation is after that. So that isn't, anyways. For example,
they're telling. I mean, from an economic standpoint, that's what we're calling it, right?
Now, and then obviously housing did go up as far as the cost of a house, but how many people? Not many people moved during the pandemic. People moved, but it's not like you couldn't buy a house, Jordan. His wife didn't move. Okay, but you get what I'm saying there. But it's saying, for example, Orange County, California, one of the most expensive places to live on the whole planet ever. A top tier home cost 1.7 million, right, in April, up from 1.2 million in February 2020. Assuming that April is April of 2022. Okay, I mean, that's Orange County though. Housing prices did go up everywhere, so I'm not going to say they did wrong on that, right? And a mortgage on that house, assuming a 20% down payment, right, will cost about $100K. That's 40% of a $250,000 annual pre-tax income. Now here we go. Cory's recommendations. Everyone's gonna get upset. I recommend your mortgage should be what? No more than 3 times your annual pre-tax. So this person will get $70,000 house. And this is the issue. Even when, okay, boom, obviously debt, right? Mortgage, no issue getting a mortgage. You still got to stay in the parameters. You don't stay in the parameters, then stuff gets out of whack. That's why I'm talking about how much y'all can afford and what you can qualify for, especially on a 30-year fix and you putting 20% down conventional loan. And if you're in Cali, you definitely get the $1 million home. That's all they sell out there in Orange County.
Right. But
you can't have it both ways. The recommendations, if you make $250K annual, your home should be no more than roughly $750,000. It definitely shouldn't be double that, because $750,000 times 2 is 1.5 and the house was 1.7. You got to see how the math is mathing, because that was correct math. But this is how this article comes about, where people who make $250K, a third of them are struggling, even from a millennial standpoint, right? People don't put foundational things in place as far as how they need to operate their finances, and then they go out here and get too much debt. Okay, from a housing standpoint. Okay,
just a small interjection, right? Because my only beef with this right now, right, is the data is reflecting rich people not out. You know what I'm saying? 250. Okay, rich people not being able to afford rich houses. And it's like, okay, is that struggling? I mean, I'm sorry that you can't buy your $1.7 million house with your $250,000 salary. Well, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Nah, I want to be.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
I want to be careful.
I don't like the way my fault.
Top earners.
Got you. I just don't like how they write it as struggling, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like y'all version of struggling and what I know is struggling are two different things, right?
Right.
You know what I mean?
By Orange County standards, that income is very on the low end. But this is why I said you got to have the parameters in place, no more than 2 to 3 times. By the way, on a 15-year fix. By the way, let's be clear. And then it should still be no more than 25% of your take-home pay, not your gross. When you get the loan, the 25% DTI is calculated on your gross. So this $250K, right? I recommend. So let me do this math real quick. Shout out to the fact I got the calculator right here and there. Now we about to have the number. Now the math should be right for me on now. Okay, but
just make sure your computer don't stop when you type that in there.
Well, hey. 250K a year gross, right? 12 months. It's a little under $21,000, right? So 25% of that, right, would be $5,200 for your mortgage payment. No. That's your gross. It should be more of your net. If you make $250K, now I can make up this math. Let's just say you're in Cali, good God, because they tax out the gate. Let's just say 60%, right? They're gonna have left over. That's $150K, right? And then because you got to pay insurance, everything that comes out their take home pay, right? And we divide that by 12. So that's $12,500, and then 25% of that is $3,100. So you're paying about 2 racks over what you should be paying. That's almost close to double. I mean, it's not double, but
Yeah.
And now here's the issue. What are you going to say? Well, I can't afford the house. No, you can't. You don't like the house you can afford. Okay, that's what we call lifestyle inflation. Okay, because we're like this. You can't do what creates the article and then get mad.
My fault. One more time.
What did I say?
You talking about the house. You said you can't afford the house, and
then you buy the house you can't afford.
One more time. You gotta say it just like you said it. You guys said it.
You know me. I'm just off the top.
He said you flowing.
It's not my fault. You can't afford the house.
You were saying you can't afford the house, and you was like, no, you can't afford the house. You just don't want the house that you can't afford.
Oh yeah.
I got you on the record skip. We good.
I've already said this before.
Look, hold on. That sounds familiar. Look,
I've already said this before.
And it's only funny whenever I talk about houses, is that is from a house conversation about mortgages. That's what that's right. I said, we do not pay off the houses. And it's well, yeah. But anyways, though, but yeah, I mean, y'all can afford the house. You don't want to buy the house you can afford. It's that simple. Again, I recommend closer to 2 times, 3 times for if you live somewhere where, like Cali, where the houses cost more. Obviously, 750K, 800K, right? But then you truly stay around that 25%. And then obviously, like I said, you gotta factor in what? The maintenance that comes into the house. That's really why you have to stay around that 2 to 3 times of your annual income, so you can afford the maintenance. And not just the maintenance, so you can upkeep the house and you still have good living conditions, so you don't have to worry about CPS because you can have kids. Never mind. Anyways, it's so that it's so that what? Likely when you buy a house, even though everybody wants a forever home, the house you buy, your first house is highly unlikely going to be the last house you purchase. So what do you need to do? You need to do what? Properly maintain the home so you can get enough equity out when you sell it. All right, because I mean, now that's not the case. So if you sold now, you lucked out. But people are going to start when I know the interest rates is back up. So people is definitely not getting those 5, 6, 7% 30 year and not do.
I'm about to say they starting at 5%, fighting and going up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, you fighting for anything under 5 if possible now. But what's it called? By the way, mortgage rates are historically around 5 to 7%. So they're not high. They're just higher what they were. But that's neither here nor there right now. Shout out to quantitative easing going away. Regardless, though, the fact is that people have enough money to afford a certain lifestyle. They choose not to, pay for the lifestyle they can afford, and then they get too much of it. Again, you need to make sure you can properly do the maintenance on the home that you're in as well, because when you do go to sell it, as the real estate market goes back to what it was pre the panorama, people aren't just going to buy the house without looking at it. They're going to get what are the checks called, Jordan? Crap, I'm just forgetting.
An appraisal?
Not the appraisal, when you have the people come out to make sure, like the all the crap. What are the people called to come and make sure like the roof is inspections? There we go.
I was saying the appraisal is a form of inspection. Look at it.
You're doing the appraisal. You got to see how much the house costs. If they start selling houses without appraisal, somebody's going to jail. Anyway, I don't know if that's against the law, but I'm just like, you got to do an appraisal. But no, people are going to start doing inspections, and they're going to be expecting how well the house has been maintained.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one thing people get caught up when y'all be renting, and you can't wait to call the maintenance person. When you move out, you still have to call the maintenance person, but you got to pay them. Okay. Now to get back on it though, to close out top earners. Well, see, when we get to this debt section, we see how fast I can close out. Top earners, even though struggling to pay the bills, are of course much better off than the rest of the nation by definition of taxable income, yes, which is facing soaring prices for everything from food, gas, and electricity. Among all consumer surveys, 61.3% reported living paycheck to paycheck in April, which goes 60% of people live paycheck to paycheck. That's roughly how many people have $1,400, whatever. All the statistics on how much money people don't have saved, this roughly mirrors that. Okay. All right. Now it's saying to finance their lifestyles. Oh, what does finance mean? Usually finance means take out debt. Okay. Higher income households are more likely to put expenses on credit cards. See, and this is why it's like, why do y'all do this to me? But also more likely to be able to pay.
We go again.
I've already said this before. I've already said this
before.
I got you.
Look, man, look. All right, because usually, like, how did you finance it? That usually means take out debt. Like, that's another way to say take out debt. But take out debt and they're using in this case to finance their lifestyles. They're not saying to take out debt. They're being financed to pay for their lifestyles. Higher income households are more likely to put expenses on credit cards / use debt, but also more likely to be able to pay off their balance in full. That's I don't know how true that is, any data on that, because I think less than 10% pay off their credit cards every month. And my guess is that doesn't increase. That number doesn't move much with higher income earning people, because higher earning income people usually have higher debt. Hence the $1.7 million example they gave above with a house. But
Gotcha.
what do I know? U.S.
Only been right thus far. Look at that.
U.S. consumer borrowing soared in March, right? March of this year, by the most on record, as credit card balances ballooned and non-revolving credit jumped, highlighting the combined impact of solid spending and rising prices. Again, non-revolving credit would be car loan, mortgage, etc. Revolving debt is credit cards, things that you can continuously, take out. Think of a revolving door and keep getting money out of that line of credit.
Gotcha.
Okay, so now we're going to close out. Yep, closing out with the revolving debt. Y'all almost done. So for revolving debt, we got a chart here from Lending Club and Pence.com. More than 1/5 of high income earners have revolving credit card debt. More than 20% of them do. So they're saying, see, and this is what they have revolving credit card debt. I'm not sure exactly what that means. So the average, I got a little thing here. The average is 45%, never or rarely, 18.6% occasionally, and then always or usually is 35.7%. Whereas that's the average for everybody versus all incomes. 250K is 62.8%, never or rarely, 18.6% occasionally, and 18.6% always or usually. So that's a little under 40%. So almost half of them. Okay.
So just a small interject. Revolving credit card debt is a credit line with limit that you can borrow against, that you can continue to borrow against as you pay off your balance.
Yep. Yeah, well, credit card debt, HELOC, home equity line of credit. As I say, it's technically you can call it as a line of credit.
Gotcha.
You can take, you got $1,000 available to you, take $5, then you pay them back some, you get, like that.
Gotcha.
So personal loan, line of credit, HELOC, credit card debt, yeah, anything like that. Credit cards is the main one though, obviously, most people have. Okay. Gotcha. And then it's saying that to close out, another survey, a separate one by the Federal Reserve, found an overall improvement in financial well-being of households since the pandemic. Panorama, bolstered by the stimulus, but they're stopped doing boasted by their quantitative easing, which are about to stop. About 78% of Americans said they were doing okay financially or living comfortably, the highest share since the Fed began running the annual survey in 2013. Okay, but still 1 in 9, so a little over 10%, that they wouldn't be able to cover a $400 emergency, which I spoke up earlier. I did not read this article before we came on. By any means, including credit card borrowing from family or friends, etc. Okay. And this was conducted on 4,000 consumers between April 6th and 13th. Okay, y'all, what is this all to say? This is all to say, listen to all the previous, 50-something episodes before. Not all of them, because the podcast file ones are wild. Listen to those, but not for information related.
Right. That's pure entertainment.
Yeah. Well, and literally where they're talking about the budgets people are struggling financially, it says budget stress. Remember I said, anxiety and depression don't exist. You financially stress, anxiety, depression, suicide. People are struggling financially, as I've said multiple times. And this is when I say, you got to come up here and you got to show me your budget. Likely, most of these people, and y'all see what they did, right? They didn't put the rest of their debt. Usually, to get this high of income, student loans have existed at some point in time.
Mm-hmm.
And or you went to college. The chances you have this high of income and don't have a college degree are highly unlikely. Most people have college degrees, obviously have student loan debt. I am interested to see not just their credit card information as far as the averages, which they showed, and the housing, but the other two main ones, car loan and student loan debt. New car loan monthly payment, I think, is $600. The averages. Okay. And obviously people who make $250K they're not driving the Honda like me. Let's just be real about it, which they should.
They should be.
They should. That's what they can afford. They can actually afford a little bit more, but in cash. But so all that to say is, I don't know how to summarize it, because there's multiple ways. Get on the damn budget. Excuse me. Okay, this is showing that 250K people are living paycheck to paycheck. We already talked about on the abortion episode. They got rid of abortion before they got rid of y'all student loans. I want to let y'all know it's about to get messy as hell. To wrap everything up. Okay. People even the top earners are even struggling financially. And so that means it's always going to trickle down into you. However, the great thing about inflation is if it goes up, I think it was 8.6% last month. If you don't have the debt it doesn't impact you as much as people who have debt. And the funny thing is, when inflation occurs, your debt payments don't. Everything goes up but your debt payments. So I guess you should be happy that they're still there, right? But a lot of you, if you still have your debt and you can't just, magically make it go away, which is most people, you don't have a whole bunch of money saved, remove the debt minimum payments out of your budget and just pay for your necessities. Don't pay for no lifestyle. And you tell me if you're living paycheck to paycheck or not. Most of you are not. Go back to the minimum wage episode. I talk about how you can actually make it on minimum wage. Okay. So the main issue is that you have debt, not that you're living paycheck to paycheck. And all this what do they end up doing on this, Jordan? They end up showing that people got too much debt.
That's pretty much it. Get out of debt. Manage your money properly. God forbid it impact the lifestyle, because look, they got to maintain that, right? That's important. No.
Yeah, and then also too, that's what I meant to say when it's showing the millennials to boomers. Usually, as you get older, you should have less debt, right? You should have paid your debt down as you gotten older. If you have taken off, right, your mortgage should be gone, right, 30 years. If you got 30-year fix, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the other thing too. Why there's about a 40% delta in between the percentage. 63% millennials, 26% boomers. So that's almost 40% right there. So again, what this article did is say people who make a whole bunch of money are struggling financially. Look at the debt they have. And they didn't include the car loan and student loans, which most people have as well. Okay. So it did show though that people may have a higher income are paying off their credit card debt more frequently. However, and here's the issue with that, it still is almost 40%. I wonder how much these people who are at 62% never or rarely have any credit card debt, how much they're putting on it. Because remember, you can still spend too much on your lifestyle. Let's say you put $1,000 on there, you still pay it off every month. The issue might be you shouldn't be putting $1,000 on there / your lifestyle category for your budget. There's that too. That's why I said people need to show up their budgets, and we need to actually sit down and break people's finances down and not just, give these general numbers. Because when you actually see budgets and, put your finances in front of your face, conversation starts to change.
So for the 250K plus people that have debt that are listening to this conversation, bottom line up front,
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. We don't care. Shut up, bitch.
Okay. I've been waiting to use that all episode. All right, look, that's perfect. Ultimately, you should be following their baby steps, right? They should have their financial house set up, and I'm gonna let you do your thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Insert Cory.
These are not the babies.
Yeah, no. I was gonna say insert Cory here, but ultimately, you shouldn't have debt and then be trying to maintain lifestyle. For me, when I hear people say maintain lifestyle, is you're trying to do everything that you were doing before in addition to the essential stuff, right? No, essential stuff only. Essential stuff only. Now I had to have that conversation with myself, because I remember when Cory and I were talking about my debt, or not my debt, but my budget at one point in time. I was like, no, when I'm planning out my emergency fund, I want to maintain my entire lifestyle. However,
Yeah. You gotta have what you need to pay for itemized. Trust me.
Yes.
Don't go. Fine. Don't.
Let's see what happens. Look at that.
And if y'all don't know how to do that, shout out to my budget template on my Linktree on Twitter and Instagram, and in the show notes on YouTube. You can access the budget template right there, and it's your necessity. That's why I say necessities, debt payments, investments, lifestyle. The minimum things you have to pay for are your necessities. Then obviously any debt payments, quote unquote. Obviously, y'all saw the panorama. You found out you didn't have to make your debt payments. That's why I said quote unquote on that. But definitely your necessities. And as Jordan was saying, the financial house, grocery bill, not eating out, grocery bill first, then housing in the form of utilities, and then your rent / mortgage, whichever one you have. Clothing. This is where y'all screw up. Clothing is basic necessities. If you don't have a kid and are not a significant weight loss or weight gain journey, you do not need to put any clothes here on a necessity standpoint, because you shouldn't be buying clothes every month. You're not growing in height because you're a full-grown adult, and you're not growing in weight because you're not gaining or losing any weight. So your clothes you have,
you might be growing in weight because you're obese. You know what you need to look at that.
Yeah, let me change that.
They might be growing in weight, Cory.
I said if you're not on significant weight loss or weight gain, it might not be significant. Let me say if you're not gaining weight significantly or losing weight significantly.
There we go.
Let me change that, because it might not be a journey. For say you just wake up, right? So my 600-pound life. Okay. All right, no sponsor. Free, I'll say free speech, fair use. Okay, but then the fourth thing is transportation in the form of car insurance first, then maybe gas first, but car insurance first, then gas, and then your car note if you have one. Fifth thing is any insurance that you don't pay out of your 9 to 5, but obviously the main insurance is medical, vision, dental, and then life insurance, and any other insurance you might need for a health standpoint. Obviously, we already said car insurance, renter / mortgage insurance, all those types of insurances. Insurances that you need. And the sixth thing is the emergency fund. The insurance part is the roof or the roof. the umbrella thing that covers everything. And the sixth thing, your emergency fund is the foundation. Emergency fund is not only 3 to 6 months of expenses, but it's also you want to be in a high cash position where you have at least 20% of your take-home pay left over after you pay for your necessities and your debt payments. If you want to know if you're living paycheck to paycheck, it's likely that you have less than 20% left over. So that means you're spending more than 80% on your necessities and debt payments. Most of you aren't spending 80% on your necessities. You might be when these debt payments kick in, but from a necessity standpoint, you're not spending 80%. Okay.
So that's where the lifestyle comes in.
That's where the lifestyle, because guess what you're not doing? You're not investing.
Right.
Hey, you black people are not investing. The network is still going like this. This is why I can't wait for y'all to come up here. Start lying. We're gonna start sharing screens. I don't see most. We're gonna start sharing screens. Pull up your data. We already did the article on this. 24K on average. Fortunately, we're above that. Shout out to us. But that's just us. We're not pushed to. We're not fighting against the downward trend. But the one thing people aren't doing is investing enough money. That's well known. So it's either your lifestyle or your debt payments. By the way, y'all not spending enough money on necessities because y'all complain that you can't feed yourselves. Oh no, it costs too much money to eat healthy. Okay, did you make sure?
What's first on the list, Corey?
I was gonna say, you make sure your groceries was the first thing on your list.
Oh,
then what are
we? They doing that involuntary autophagy. That's what's happening. Hey yo!
Oh my goodness. Look, I'm batting 100 on the budgets. Whenever I've done anybody's just necessities and debt payments, they have not spent over 80% of their take, not their gross, their take home pay. They haven't done that. They haven't done that. So that means they're literally investing. I won't say investing too much, but either their investments or their lifestyles while they're struggling to live paycheck to paycheck. Most of you are not living paycheck to paycheck strictly off your necessities and your debt payments. Unfortunately, in your necessities, your utilities, I include your Wi-Fi. So I'm not even taking away YouTube, Twitter. I'm not even taking away your cell phone bill, none of that. So you still could get on the internet with me. I mean, Wi-Fi is a necessity now, so is your cell phone in this current society. But you still get water, you get gas, right? And and most of you, and this is why I was like, y'all be lying so much. If a lot of you effers just took your eating out budget and put it inside of your grocery bill and spent all of that, that's how much money you're spending on food, alcohol included. What? That's what I'm chopping up. What?
Yeah.
If y'all took your eating out budget, zeroed it out for the month, and put it in your grocery budget and use all your eating out money at the grocery store, please look me in the damn face and tell me you can't eat healthy with that amount of money. I help some people where they spend more money eating out than on a grocery bill.
That's crazy. You got to reel it in.
Y'all your rabbit ass mind out here. Y'all crazy.
Don't make no sense.
Yeah. And then what do they want us to do, Jordan? Pay more in taxes. No.
Not I.
Oh my goodness. And put it like this. Look like the student loan forgiveness is about to, we got to handle that a little bit on this side. That 10K is looking like it's about to be 10K. But it's like, God dang, y'all don't want to pay your student loans off all the way, and you don't want to exercise and eat healthy or budget. Then you want to make a high income and still live paycheck to paycheck. What the F is going on out here with y'all?
Yeah, just taking all the L's, all of the L's.
What do y'all want to do? Tell me, what do y'all want to do? What you don't want to do is be in shape so you can live as long as possible and not die by the main cause, heart disease. But think gun violence, which is 45K a year, and heart disease 800K a year. Okay. Then you don't want to be on a budget and pay for what you have. Then you want to have a high income and still live paycheck to paycheck at some point in time. Something's got to give. Okay, something's got to give. What are y'all doing? Like, that's what I'm confused. You're out of shape and you're broke, and then you're out of shape, high income, and still broke.
Stupid. I've already said this before.
Look, I'm trying to time it. Did I hit it on? Was that the exclamation point?
It can't look with the recording gonna play, but it's good on my end.
Right.
And it's so sad because shout out to Squad, shout out to Investment Group. We just had our meeting this year, our 30th meeting, consecutive meeting, because we had a meeting once a month. And we were like, it's been a lot of progress in these 2.5 years, y'all.
Yeah.
I mean,
been locked in.
We were talking about it. A significant amount of debt has been paid off. Some people completely out of debt. Almost everyone did some type of housing purchase or move out. Yeah. And then there have been marriages and children had. I mean, so, and that is what it is. But it's like
some form of investing has occurred. Yeah. Like we out here.
Okay. I mean, as y'all can imagine, they can't mess up because I'm gonna look bad. But moving forward, first thing what you have to do, same thing on a fitness standpoint, is what? Have a plan.
Yes.
Okay, you have to have a plan, and that's why I said multiple times. You don't have to do what Jordan said on the fitness side, or I say on the finance side, but you have to have a plan. That's the first thing you have to do. I think it was, I forget who said it, but if you aim at something, you'll hit it. If you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time. I slipped my mind which old white man said that, but that's the case. So what's your plan? That's what I'm talking about, the parameters with the mortgage. It's not your plan to come in and have a DTI no greater than 36%, and then make sure the mortgage no more than 25%. That's the bank's plan. Dang, which one am I going to chop up? Which one am I going to chop up?
You hear me?
Like, Zig Ziglar. There we go. Zig Ziglar. Yeah. I knew it was. I was going to say Zig Wrigler. I was thinking Jim Rohn or Ron, but I knew it wasn't him. But yeah, y'all have to have your own plan and operate like that. Same thing Jordan was saying when he was getting his 15-year fix, and she was cookie cutter him to death and saying, nah, you want this? And I was like, no, this is what you're doing.
That's it. Look, stop trying to tell me how to spend my money. This is what I want.
And here's the issue. Let
me be very clear. Not you, her. That's what I was talking to her. Like, she kept trying to tell me, well, that's not how this is usually done. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
But the most cases, most people never spend their own money. Right, even in your case, right, the work y'all put in to have that much for the down payment, at least be in the position to put as much as you want to down. Mm-hmm. Most people aren't putting that much down for the down payments. It's not really your money. Same thing with artists, right? The 360 deals. Most artists don't do anything. If y'all actually look at the credits, all they do is rap or sing the words. They're not the only songwriting credit, and they can't do any of the mixing, mastering, producing, and marketing. So what are they doing? That's why I don't. If y'all want to know for real, that's why I don't. If there's one voice on the track, right, excluding samples, if there's one voice, there should be a writer per voice by definition. And if you didn't write the song, then how much credit? It's not yours.
Facts.
People don't want to talk about that because they've been complaining about it. It's like, hold on, bro. Did you write this? Y'all know most of if I don't know if people know, but like most of music is written by a handful of people. Shout out to Neo. Most.
I didn't realize. Did you realize? What's her name? Money Long. I didn't realize she had contributed as many hits as she had. That's the Hours and Hours.
Oh yeah. Well, that's how it works now that the barrier of entry is so much lower that people you can just make your own music. But yeah, there a lot of songs are written by the same handful of people. Yeah, the good songs. The hits.
Right.
This is well known.
That's why they be giving Candy so much smoke. You know what I mean? Because it sounds like she can't write a hit for herself to save her life. But we are without question. She has the hits. Let's not go there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying, yeah. Go ahead. I was gonna say if the top 10 hits are written by half of them written by the same person. You know what I mean? It's like, well, clearly this person is why the hits exist. Right? We like what they do, not what you do. It's not your credit. And that's no knock.
You are just the vessel. Look at
yeah. And that's no knock, but that's why I say most artists are actors. That's what an actor is. They don't do anything but reline somebody else generated for them. They don't create the set. They don't do any of the chopping and editing of the production. They just read the lines. And that's why a lot of the people on not Power, what's the Empire, things like that, they transition over to being artists because they just doing it. Somebody wrote them lines for the show, like the actual song lyrics and the show. No, they're the same thing technically, but like it's the same concept.
Just a regurgitation of artistic expression. That's a nice way.
Yeah. And I have no knock on it, but when people complain about the money, it's like, how much ownership should you get if you didn't create most of it? Because I know most artists are not Kanye. They can't do none of the production side. They can't do none of that. By the way, which is the whole point in today's current society, so that we can listen to it. If you've ever heard a track before it's been edited, mixed and mastered, it sounds terrible. A lot of these artists can't even do a one take. They be punching in like crazy. Okay, then if you ain't write the song or most of it, how much should you get? I mean, in short, if you wrote less than 50% of the song, you should get less than 50% of the payout on it.
Yeah,
that's just writing. If we include production, most artists are closer to under 10% than you think. They do 0% on the production side, 0, and they put none of their money up for marketing, etc. What do y'all?
You just the face. That's it. You just the face and the voice. That's it.
Right. And so that level of arrogance, we don't really put all your money up. The same thing to close out about the debt. It's like, well, it's not really your money. So that's why you're going by somebody else's standards, and that's what you got to deal with. This is somebody else's terms and conditions, and if you fall victim to them, that's on you for not taking control of your life. All right, bro.
It's over 9,000.
Man's just putting on.
Hey,
let y'all know how that go. Appreciate that, bro.
Hey, real talk. We just threw the 2 hours on your head. Feel like
off the jump,
off the rip on the new.
The new format is critical out here.
We both in the lab.
Working in there.
Oh my goodness. All right. So recap for the fitness section. The question was, what is autophagy? Am I saying it right?
Autophagy.
Autophagy. And what are the pros and cons? Autophagy.
So just bringing it back full circle, we're going to get this in 1 minute or less. All right. Autophagy is a cellular self-correcting process caused by extended fasting. It removes the toxic, non-functional parts of cells by breaking them down for energy due to lack of nutrients. And this process is said to cleanse cancer-causing agents within the body. Pros are similar to what I just mentioned: increased ketone levels, which causes weight loss in that cellular correction process, reduced appetite, and disease prevention. Cons include fatigue, reduced energy levels, and the fact that it is difficult to do and that it requires a lot of hydration. The recommendation for autophagy is to participate in a autophagy period, greater than 24 hours, but that you can endure in at least once every 30 days to perform that self-cleansing process. So, finance section, we had an article that referred to 1/3 of Americans making $250,000 that live paycheck to paycheck. Go ahead and give us that wrap up, bro.
Yes, and this is from Bloomberg. The wrap up is what? Most people are struggling financially, regardless of the income, per this article. What this article essentially laid out is that these people, even with the higher incomes, are not using the proper, let's say, metrics, but finance techniques, paying down their debt and making sure when you get debt, you don't get too much debt in the mortgage situation. When it comes to credit card debt, as I've always said, you shouldn't have any revolving debt left over at all. And almost 40% have some type of debt left over at the end of the month, as far as they're not paying their credit card off every month. Only 60% are paying it off 60% aren't paying it off every month. It says never or rarely, which is 62%. Okay. Okay. So it says, so out of that, out of the 62%, some people still have debt on their credit card. You're supposed to never, if you use credit cards, have a balance at the end of the month. Never pay interest on a credit card. Never pay interest on a credit card. Then they talk about getting a mortgage. They use an Orange County example, so high cost of living. However, those people were still out of the mortgage parameters that I recommend. 2 to 3 times your annual income is $250K. That's $750,000. They're saying people out here getting mortgages double that, 1.5, 1.7 million. That goes another red flag right there. And then at the end of the day, your mortgage should be no more than 25% of your gross per the banking standpoint. So 25% of that a month is $5,200. And I just come on Google real quick. I should do this when we were doing it and doing my mortgage calculator for a $1.7 million home on a 30-year fixed at 20% down, which they said they were doing. Right. This is egregious. This is egregious. What's 20% down? What's 20% of 170? Was that 34?
Yeah.
40. So what is that? 14. Somebody did 1.4 million. So the loan is for 1.4 million on a 30-year fixed at let's just do 5%. 5.305%. It's saying it's $7,779. They're not even at the DTI per. This is what I'm saying. All right, it's not in the episode. All right, because I got to do something in 14. They're not even if they're going by the current banking standards for DTI, y'all. That's still too much house. Still, this is a 30-year fix. Look at this 15. Look at this 15.
They don't want that. They don't want them 15 numbers.
15 years, 11 grand. Oh my goodness. Okay, and to wrap it up though, let me look at the 750K. Right, it's closer to 6,000. Right, but you still wouldn't get that much though. Right, that's what I'm saying. You would still get that. That'd be the most worst case. You get a 30-year though, it's around 4,000. Okay, so get on a budget. Necessities, debt payments, investments, lifestyle. Again, y'all, inflation is crazy. We got to get through this year. I don't know if I said this, but gas goes up in the summer. The summer technically has not started yet. Okay. And we still have, even if it is summer, we still have to do July and August. Gas is still going to continue to go up. Do not get stupid out here.
We already at $5.
We're at $5. And remember what the statement was. Okay, we're $5. Okay, we have to have a conversation. $5. And this is Maryland numbers, by the way. So adjust for wherever you're at. $5.
I did see an article.
Every state.
The national average is $5 right now. So it's across the board.
What I'm saying is, if our California listeners are gonna be like, we wish. So I want to make sure I'm being respectful. But whatever whatever number just got over where you're at, it's like, okay, as it gets to the next, another 50 cents up, you really have to consider why you're going outside, groceries, any type of daycare stuff, and to go to work. Once it hits another dollar amount up, you guys should literally not be leaving the house at all, except for the basic necessities. You should you cannot afford 100%, 150, 200% increase on gas.
You can't.
Shout out, put like this. Jordan and I went virtual.
Listen, you see where we at.
Let's be clear. I put $60 in my tank. I have a Honda Accord.
Look,
I have less than 13 gallons. If I fill up all the way, it's insane.
Gas is not playing with us right now. It's disrespectful out here in the streets.
All right, y'all. All right, that's it. Locked and loaded.
So, Corey, if for these people who make $250,000 living paycheck to paycheck, if they want to correct that action and they want to get on the budget, how can they find you?
You can find me at sideline_Cory. That's Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. On Twitter and Instagram, in my link tree, you'll see the link to my budget template, and you'll see the link as well to my pricing. $20 for ad hoc call, 1 hour, $50 a month for budgeting, debt payoff, management consultation once a month, and then it's gonna be $100 a month for all the game I got investing information. Make sure you set up all the way everything in my head. That's $100 a month, and you get one 1 hour meeting a week. You can get up to 4 a month or 5 if whenever that happens. You don't have to use all those meetings, but that's what you'll be paying for. Okay. Now, gotcha. Jordan.
Good stuff. Yes,
people trying to fight this heart disease, the main killer of Black people and people in America, not gun violence.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna talk about that later. Now, gun violence. What can people do?
You can follow me at Stop Stalling J. That's STOPSTALLINGJAY. Look, see right here in this lovely name tag over. Hold on this side. Look on right here. That's how you spell it. All right. And I'm on right. I had to. It's mirrored right the other way. That's on Twitter, Instagram, and now TikTok. So you can follow me on TikTok for all my gym talk folks. All right. Or you can follow the business page at FinallyFit06. That's FINALLFIT06 on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Or check out our website at FinallyFit.live, where you can get a monthly subscription for $60. That includes 2 virtual workouts a week, access to our virtual library where we place all pre-recorded classes, as well as a monthly check-in with yours truly to set your goals and milestones to make sure that you hit those goals on a monthly basis. If you would like to attend a workout session with me in person in the Hartford County area, you can do so by paying for a single session for $40 a session, or 3 weekly sessions for an hour each for $100 a week. All right. We're going to get it in. Make sure you get to those goals. But as always, please, please, please make sure that you like, share, comment, subscribe, rate, review. Okay. On these videos and on this podcast. All right. You can find us on, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all of the above. Wherever your favorite podcast listening source is, we're probably on there, Cordan in full effect. Okay. Please make sure you check us out. Put us in the group chat. Well, again, we like all the smoke. All right. It's entertainment purposes only, but we like to think that we know what we're talking about. And if you want to prove us wrong, come on over. Like we said, we virtual now. You can get the link too. All right. But it's all love over here.
Okay. And don't come on here looking like, don't have your ass like Amber Heard.
Look,
I'm trying to tell you, I made it. It's gonna be called Corey's Court.
Look.
All right, you come up here.
Hey, don't make me get the dun 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 dun.
Yeah, we got the Law and Order. We'll bring Law and Order back. For those of us, my favorite show, Law and Order SVU. We'll bring it. Dun dun. Look. All right. Okay. If y'all got something to say, we'll let y'all say it. Just don't do anything that YouTube says you can't. Things that you can't do that we can't do. Other than that, you'll get up here and say the hell y'all want to say. Yeah. However, don't renege.
Yeah.
don't renege.
We will rewind the episode back and bring you back the next time. Look, do not play with us. Look.
Yeah, and I control well, Jordan can too if he wants to, but I control the editing. Play with me if you don't play with me, play with your mom.
Look, put you in slow motion and zoom in where you renege that. Look at
that. Right. Yeah. I'll try and put it like this. I'll remember and I will go back and watch all the episodes. Don't play with me.
Well, it'd be like at an hour and 37 minutes and 22 seconds in on episode 47. You said, look at it.
All right. Real talk though. We can't wait to do this live and y'all come up here and say what you have to say. So we got more plans now. We can do this virtually. Anybody come up, you can join your phone, all that type of stuff. So you don't need to have all the setup that we had. You can come up and join just like a Zoom link, anything like that, Instagram Live, etc. So not on Instagram Live, but like you can on Instagram Live. So we are ready for that. But anything else, bro? Yeah, we went 2 hours almost. Okay, whatever. All right, you have anything?
Yeah, no, that's it. All right. Look, loving the new virtual format. This is
good. This is great.
Yeah.
This is great.
Why did we do this earlier? Right. Could have saved so much gas money. That became handy now.
Hey, and what I'm about to repurpose that $25 for the Easy Pass toll as soon as I send you your money for this stuff. Man, look, it's a wrap. Right? But, yeah, you good though?
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. So remember to save more and say less.
And keep making your best.
And we will catch y'all in the
next one.